All right, bang. Today is Monday. It is December 19th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. Snake Draft Monday presented by Miller Lite. We are joined on Zoom by Dana Beers. Dana, welcome back. I think it's your first one since back to school. Was that last year?
No, I thought we...
Yeah, that was last September. I remember because that's right off the heels of like when Dave was yelling at me and I was on the Portnoy show and I was like, I'm never going to do content again. I can just stick with my video production job. And then I can't turn it down, the dog walk. So I was back. I think it was last August.
When was he at his girlfriend's house in Long Island?
That was the dozen.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
Okay, that's my fault. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I was confused too because I'm like that.
We have definitely done something on a Zoom call with Dana very recently. I think.
Oh, okay.
That's where I am
Somewhat
right now.
recently,
That was
yeah.
a funny line. That was a funny line. From the balcony bed to your girlfriend's, back room or something. It's true.
Not trying to
Correct.
retread the joke here on a different show, but if you bring it up, I mean, yeah, it is kind of a sad fall.
Do you miss the balcony bed?
I miss the balcony bed, but I love saving money, and that's what I'm doing. And I love my girlfriend.
That's nice. Oh, look at that.
yeah.
Christmas season.
What'd you get her for Christmas? How much did you spend?
She won't watch this.
Don't tell her. Don't tell me what you got her, but how much money did you spend on her?
Do you really want to know?
Yes. Actually, now that with that response,
Well, I mean, you
absolutely.
said you're saving money. It's got to go somewhere.
You said you love her.
Haley, do you have your headphones in? All right, she can't hear me. $2,000.
Ooh.
Wow, man,
Dude, he has to. This
Come work
guy's
for
going.
Barstool.
You know how many colleges this guy went to this
That's
fall?
true. That's true.
Had to do something.
Yeah.
I don't go to the colleges to go look at girls. I go to the colleges because I just want to experience college sports.
Yeah, no, and she
Yeah.
and she totally gets it and understands it completely. Without
Because
any...
women have rational brains.
Yeah.
Jesus, Dave.
Yeah, I
complimenting
usually ends up in some type of disagreement, even though I'm just there watching college football. But whatever.
Where did you go to school again, Dana?
Harvard.
Stonehill College, D2. Actually, they just went D1 recently in Massachusetts. Very small school.
Okay.
Yeah, you're like me where I didn't, and Chief actually, where we didn't get that Big Ten SEC vibes in college. So I wish I could, turn back the clocks and have done that.
Yeah, I was lucky enough that we got Pink Whitney on board, and I wasn't expecting to really do any of this. And then they said, "Do you want to go to all these places?" And I was like, "I'm not going to say no to going to Bama, LSU. I'm not going to say no to going to South Carolina and Tennessee." So
You're just a working man.
fall.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a working man.
Yeah.
You had to
Yeah, put your hard hat on and go out there and drink beers with those college kids.
Yeah.
Hey, and I'm the one editing the videos. So
True.
It's not like I'm getting the footage and I'm making the videos.
There you
so
go.
You gotta consider that it's not so much of a boondoggle. I gotta make some work out of this,
Good for you, Dana. You had
Yep.
to spend $2,100 bills after having the co-eds pet your belly for at 8 different college campuses this fall. All right, that's a good move. Sorry.
You want to know what it was? Do you guys want to know what it
Yeah.
was?
Yeah. Well, she won't listen. Will she listen or no? This is coming on the 19th. Remember that.
I
Hey,
will make
nobody
sure
give this.
We can bleep
Nobody
it out,
listening.
too.
Give this to Dana's girlfriend. Make sure she
I
doesn't know. We're all
promise she
keep a
doesn't
secret.
listen, but there's probably some scumbags that'll find it, whatever. But a Louis Vuitton bag.
Ooh.
Who picked it
All right.
out?
Dion picked it out.
Oh yeah. Did he?
Well,
He's got his own bags and they're Louis.
last year I got her a Coach bag, and apparently that's very out of fashion. So she was like, "What the fuck?" I still have it in the closet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an upgrade.
Good.
My
Now-
mom. Hey, my mom will take
Good
that
for
Coach
you.
bag, Dana. If I send you.
Dude, I'm looking to give it away.
Let's do a little bargain here for
You
Mama
should.
Carl.
You should do that in a video. You should go to like Canal and sell that and see what you can get or something.
Dana,
I didn't know
hear
Coach
me out
was
here.
out of
Hold on.
style.
Yeah.
It sounds fancy to me. I don't know.
That's news to me too. I remember that being a thing.
Yeah.
Dana, I'm not going to name names here, but have you ever met Nick Tarani's buddy Maresh?
I am not.
That's
Okay,
missing out.
he's a friend of mine too. At this point, he has a bootleg high-end fashions dealer that he was going to take me to the last time I was out in New York, like a month back. Didn't get to make it there, but I am going to be making a pit stop to this place with Maresh. Did you also find this guy, and did you pick up a phony Louis Vuitton purse for your girlfriend?
I got it online, Dave, so I don't think that it's phony. I can't say this too loud because she's gonna hear me say what it is, but
Dude.
it was from the actual website.
There you go.
Dana, you're such a moron. She's definitely gonna find out. Like you said this publicly on a podcast.
This is perfect for the
This
fuck
is-
ups draft.
This is also,
Exactly.
also, you guys read the title of the podcast. This is the fuck ups draft, so this is perfect. Also, like, example of a fuck up, Dana. I'll say it now. Not going to your friend's wedding. That could be a fuck up. So we'll just use,
I thought we don't tip picks on the show.
let's use that. But we are doing famous fuck ups. So ones that have happened. So I just use that obviously as a funny one to poke fun at Dana. But yeah, that's going to be the draft fuck ups. We'll probably use maybe blunders on the graphic. Who knows how that's going to be framed. But yeah, the fuck ups draft is that. Carl, congrats on winning last week's draft.
Thanks.
The worst smells.
Well,
Tough to beat
I
shit.
got
Tough to
completely
beat
fucked
human
over
shit.
in that draft.
You did?
I did.
You never complain about that.
Well, this time it actually was true. I should have been at least bare minimum on the poll. But that's fine.
All right. Yeah, let's just do the order. Let's hop in here. All right, Dana. Producer Harry's got 1 through 5 behind his back. What number is it?
3.
No.
Carl.
2.
Yes.
I'll take the first overall pick.
1.
Yes.
I will take the 4th pick.
Dave.
1.
No.
2.
No.
Dana.
3.
Yes.
Give me the second pick, please.
All right. White Sox Dave.
1.
Yes.
I'll go 3.
All right. I got 5. Order is Carl, Dana, White Sox Dave, Chief, Eddie. I should note, too, this will be the last original draft of the year. We are dark next week for our winter break, so we will run a best of. It is kind of funny, too. Like, we are clearly all tapped out of Christmas topics because we didn't do any Christmas themed this year. That's what happens when you're on year 3. So we'll probably run a Christmas themed one next week, probably, I assume. Oh, who knows? Because Christmas will be over. But
Yeah,
regardless.
it's more of an inclusive approach, Ed.
Yeah, it
we're
is.
not isolating anyone this year. We've done it 2 years in a row. Maybe look at it like that. This is, we're keeping it neutral.
That's a good way to put it. But before we get into it, we do want to talk about our friends at Miller Lite. 'Tis the season to get together with good friends and great drinks. And that means 'tis Miller time. Since 1975, Miller Lite has been the beer with taste you can depend on. No games, no gimmicks, just great beer. Not only is Miller Lite a great tasting light beer, it's also a great gift for beer lovers in your life. And even more gift ideas perfect for beer lovers, okay? So visit the Miller Lite shop site at shop.millerlite.com. Their new holiday collection features everything from cozy beer-inspired holiday sweaters to drinkable ornaments for your tree. This holiday, 'tis Miller time, so enjoy Miller time with your friends and family. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to millerlite.com/redline to find the delivery options near you so you can give the gift of Miller Lite this holiday season. Or you can pick up Miller Lite anywhere that they sell beer, from here to Long Island, where Dana's staying right now, or his hometown of Sandwich, Massachusetts.
Shout out Sandwich Police.
Shout out Sandwich. Shout out Sandwich. 'Tis Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. All right, let's hop into it. Carl, you're up.
You said blunder, fuck up. First thing that came to my head is 28-3. 28-3.
28-3.
Yeah, I don't, like, as far as sports are concerned, the Falcons blowing a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl, I cannot think of anything that's more tragic. It's by far the biggest championship in sports. It's by far the hardest one for a player to win based on career turnover and all that shit. Like, it's just an impossible trophy to win. You're up 28-3 and you fucking blow it. And of all the people that blow it too, with like Belichick and Brady, it just does not get more tragic than thinking about the poor, lowly Atlanta Falcons blowing 28-3.
They never recovered.
No, they didn't.
They never
it was all
recovered,
downhill from
yeah.
there. That wasn't necessarily a choice. They didn't try to fuck up. They just kind of did. I feel like making a decision that is just unbelievably bad in the end is different than just...
Yeah, fair
think-
point.
yeah.
It's a fair point, Dave.
But I think you could
That's a
say
better point to the story.
all the play calling would be...
It's definitely a fuck up.
Yeah,
But
like
don't
they
get me
fucked
wrong.
up. Like
they
the Falcons fucked up.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I'm a Patriots fan, and I will be honest with you. I had no faith at that point when it was 28-3. I thought it was over. Some Patriots fans will tell you that we got Tom Brady. It's never over. I thought we were dead and buried. So, I mean, it was obviously one of the greatest, if not the greatest comeback in, I don't know, in sports, but definitely Super Bowl history. It was just such, after every score, you could kind of feel like in the room, I was with like 10, 15 Patriots fans, like, okay, we got a chance. We can actually maybe do this. And then once he cut it to one touchdown, you're like, okay, yes, we're winning this game.
Yeah.
There was never a doubt. Like, they had already lost it once the Patriots got into the 20s. So, but I think it was probably Portnoy or whoever is like, yeah, I thought we were going to win that game. Come on. Nobody thought
what was that, 16? Right?
Yeah.
But I remember thinking at halftime that the Patriots could come back. And then I think the first play of the third quarter was either like a pick six or a fumble return for a touchdown by the Falcons. Like, oh, they're actually going to lose this game.
Now,
Get blown out.
Now, here's what I'm genuinely asking. Does anyone remember an actual fuck up per se?
See, that's
It was like an entire quarter of fuck up.
Yeah, like that's what I'm trying to think.
there's a
One-
fumble. There's a fumble in there now because
There's gotta be,
when we
yeah.
went
Matt
through some
Ryan taking that
examples.
sack.
Like when we went through some examples, the example you gave us, I would imagine is not going to get drafted, right?
It could. We could. I mean,
I don't have to say it then, but it was the example that you gave to us was a broader like corporate America example that happened over like kind of a bigger period of time, I'd say.
Yeah, no, I'm just more asking for the point, for the sake of conversation, and I don't really remember. I was probably fucking focused on the Buffalo Chicken. Someone who like Dana, who was like deep into the game because it was your team. I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I think a good thing I guess we should make. I don't know if it's worth a distinction, but in my head, I was going to try and think about it like there's specific blunders, like a moment, like ooh, that's a bad moment, and there's blunders where it's like ooh, that's a bad. Like in this case, it happened over like an hour, and then there's times where it's like, man, I got to blunders. I feel like the time period depends on the blunder.
All right, let's leave it at that. 28-3 Falcons. Dana.
I guess I'm going in a completely opposite direction here. It's kind of chalk, but it's got to be Chernobyl. Yeah. Chernobyl, however you say it. I mean, that's the biggest fuck up in history, right? I'm not a huge history guy.
One of them.
I've seen the television show. I've seen some documentaries. How do you do that? How do you just let that happen? That's a fuck up. And I think it's chalk, but I think that's, if not the worst mistake in human history, it's up there. So I'll go with Chernobyl.
Very high on my list, Dana. Very high on my list. Like this is, many ways where my brain went. Many fuck ups.
Yeah. A series of them.
Yes, the reactors to the how
Response,
they handle it after.
yeah.
So many fuck ups.
Partly why I picked this is because I want, like, I know Chief's a history guy. I kind of want to learn more about it. So if you got any facts for me, please help me out here. It helped my pick for the listeners because I don't really have much.
Hey, Dana. Very good pick. I mean, it's hard to beat a nuclear meltdown. As in terms of like what's a worse fuck up than that or worse consequences. Nuclear meltdown's pretty fucking bad.
Yeah.
In terms of facts off the top of my head, I got to tell you, I'm a little bit blank on that right now. So I watched that doc like in early the series in real time, and I remember the one scene where they're talking about what it's doing to your body, and they describe like the particles like shooting through your body like bullets, like 10 million bullets all through your skin at all times, and you can't feel it, just ripping apart your insides. I'm like, oh, that's fucking bad. But that was like my big takeaway. I don't really remember all the nitty gritty about it, to be honest.
So I thought it was an accident when the thing went down.
I mean,
And
typically,
I know.
are,
So that's
yeah.
what like.
But it was both like, all right, so that is
Now I don't want to. Now we're getting really fucking nuanced, and this is when people are like, Carl. But now just hear me out for a second.
okay.
It was an accident. Now the fuck up to me is the way that they responded.
Correct.
Right? Didn't they fucking?
No, bro. I think
they
it
didn't
was,
weren't transparent. They were
Yeah,
just
they were
sending people
sweeping
into
it
the
on-
core.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're just going to the core. And,
I think it was like the supervisor. Like they
Right.
knew like they didn't have enough power to. I forget exactly.
No,
like
I think it was initially an accident, and then there was like this time where that's the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
So you just lie, okay? Because you just lie and you just cover it up and you just do whatever you have to do to make the party and the country and everybody look good. So they lied, and that led to like a bigger disaster. And which it always does. The lie and the cover up is always worse than the initial crime. But that was to me the fuck up, and it is a major.
now,
fuck up.
fuck up, disaster, mistake. Okay.
925,000 people
Blunder.
were displaced immediately after
Recently.
it. Into like cornfields and wheat fields and shit. That's what I read this morning. I think that was the exact number. And they said like up to 60 million people or something were at immediate risk of radiation exposure, I think was the number I saw. And after that, it could get into water and streams, and eventually the the Adriatic Sea right there, I believe. Baltic
yeah.
Sea.
I don't know. Is it
It's-
Baltic?
it's
I
both
think
of
so.
them.
Yeah, Adriatic is over by Sweden, or not Sweden, Italy and Croatia and all that.
Damn.
But that's
Yeah.
just south of Ukraine and everything.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
Niger-
I mean, semantics at that point. But yeah, it could have fucked up like tens of millions of people. Like Chief said, just those razor sharp particles piercing.
Can
your
I
body.
say a fuck up about the series? It still bothers me that everybody in the series had an English accent.
It drives me crazy,
Yeah,
and people are like, "What the fuck do you?" I'm like,
Give me,
"Cause
give me subtitles in like that Slavic.
that gross
Russian,
ass
yeah.
pig Latin."
Because
Jesus.
The thing that got me about the series, and Eddie would never understand this, is when they have to walk around and kill all the dogs because they.
I hated that. Yeah.
yeah,
I was
I mean,
grinning ear to ear.
Eddie was probably like, "Good, let him go. That's good for them."
He would've.
but you know that hurt. That part hurt.
So is the pig
See,
Russia's energy policy?
I don't know. I just say Chernobyl.
Russia's nuclear energy.
I'm pretty sure today Chernobyl's like a tourist attraction, right?
it's like a wildlife preserve or something.
it's like a
Yeah.
dark. There is a dark
Yeah.
tourist.
Well,
thing.
that's a
You
great
could- yeah.
Netflix series. Is
Yeah, if
Dark
you-
Taurus.
Yeah, there's dark tourist. You could check it out. You could go there, and you have to wear like a hazmat. And, like there's
Yeah.
days where like the radiation is low. You could like get in there.
But it is crazy that they said like the wildlife is like has
Brimming now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Nature
teeming.
finds a way.
It is.
No, it is.
Fresh li- yeah.
I think
I
I've
know.
seen the same thing you have.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, Chernobyl's a great pick. It's,
Yeah.
it's a fuck up, colossal fuck up from many aspects.
And it started with just what 3 or 4 fucking nerds in a basement of a nuclear reactor.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it started with a nuclear reactor.
Well, probably yeah.
Yeah.
White Sox, Dave.
I am gonna go with. I'm gonna go chalk the first few rounds as well. I am gonna go with the Boston Red Sox selling Babe Ruth to the Yankees in 1920. That's a pretty bad fuck up right there. Babe Ruth,
What'd they get for him?
$125,000. Which
Didn't
at
they
the
get,
time,
What is that in today's money?
inflation? Someone get the inflation calculator
What
out.
year
Dave,
was
it's right
it?
in front of you. It's your fucking computer.
Yeah, you just type in.
I'll do it right now. Hold on.
Wasn't there something like about a play or a musical that was like that they traded the right, like they got it for rights to a musical? It was like
Yeah,
they-
I thought that's what it was too.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
Dave, I don't know if you have a take on this or if you put a take out on this. What do you think Babe Ruth would be today in today's MLB?
No, don't do this.
So-
Don't do this. Don't
no,
do this.
really
Don't do
quick.
this.
No.
Don't do this. Is it Babe? Hold
Shut
on.
up. He
Is
asked
it
me a
Babe Ruth?
question.
Is it Babe Ruth who got in a time machine, or is Babe Ruth born in like the exact same guy was born in like 1988
Same guy.
in a
Well,
time machine
which
who gets
one?
transported today?
Hawk Harrelson said this to us on a podcast years ago, and it's something I've never heard anybody say, and it's something that made me think. Because I always thought, like, oh, no way, like, there's no way he would be able to catch up to these fastballs and swing mechanics and all that shit. He said the great ones from any era are going to be great in any era, no matter what. So obviously the depth is way worse. Like the worst player on that team wouldn't sniff a professional roster in today's age. But like Ted Williams, Joe DiMaggio, Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, all the way up through Mickey Mantle and those guys would exceed, or like they would excel in any era, which I think is a fair argument. So I would say he's not hitting more home runs than entire teams now, like he was back in the 20s and 30s. But I think that he would maybe find some level of success.
Can I please chime in? I love this argument so much.
Yes.
And I like get really frustrated when people talk about it. If Babe Ruth got off a 1927 season and then like he just got transported here and was like, boom, you're in. All right, now you face Aaron Nola. He'd be like, what the fuck is this? It's all black magic to him because they'd never see it. If you told me Babe Ruth off a 1927 season then could go play baseball for like 2 or 3 years and get adjusted to what the fuck's going on, I think he'd be just fine. And then if you told me that like who Babe Ruth is as a man, if he was like
His, like,
born
DNA.
today and raised today, he'd be the fucking top 5 player in baseball because how much better he was than every single person, and every single person's trying to play. And he's big as fuck, dude. And
I think that's the best
have
argument.
a
Oh, yeah, he's huge,
comparison
yeah.
side
Yeah.
to side of like him and Bryce Harper's swing, and they have like some fucking biometric John Brinkus go through it and like the weight transfer, all that shit. And then if you just go like literally 2 decades later, not even 2 decades later, Ted Williams is fucking balling out, and everybody agrees if you put Ted Williams in today's game, he would fucking be just as good today as he was then. And so just how close he was to Ruth's era, I think it's very disingenuous to say Ruth would suck in today's game. But I do think if you just took him from 27, threw him in today's game, we're like, all right, how good are you? Yeah, dude, he'd be lucky to hit 150.
I'm sure I'm going to get roasted for this question, but did they even put spin on pitches?
It's a 3-level analysis, I think.
They had curveballs.
Like curveballs and sliders and all that shit.
You got to go back and watch.
Dude, they had like mud balls and spitballs.
Yeah, they were
doing
that
different,
good.
dude. They
See
throw
what
out
you
your
did,
fucking
Dana.
ears.
See what you did.
It's okay. It's a
I mean, I knew a couple baseball guys in the room.
I want this take out there.
I think that's a great take.
I hate when people say like those guys would suck. Of course.
Well, I feel like that used to be like Jared. And
it's a fight. Jared doesn't like it because he is alleged to have murdered his wife
Oh,
in a house fire.
What, really?
Yeah, Babe Ruth. There's like a conspiracy. Nah, I don't even know if it's I think it's a little bit more than a conspiracy. I think it's like
we got to get to the
rumored.
bottom of that.
I think it's
Sounds
rumored.
like that could be tomorrow's episode.
we might have to do that.
Babe Ruth and his wife.
There's
she
actually
died in
a
a house
few-
fire under questionable circumstances. He wasn't there. No, it's not like
really?
they got eyewitness being like, we saw a guy
Oh,
drinking.
Forensics teams. And to answer the original question, it's $1.86 million in today's money.
Oh, well.
So not a lot of
Not
money.
great, yeah. Chalk pick, good pick, fine pick. Babe
Yeah,
Ruth.
it led to the Curse of the Bambino. It was
Yeah.
like a legendary.
Yeah.
It was the most famous curse in sports, at least American sports. So I'm happy with that pick.
Chief.
Since it's been chalky, I'm like whatever, fuck it, I don't care. I think this is arguably the biggest fuck up of all time. Probably the biggest financial fuck up. You guys know who Ronald Wayne is? Ron Wayne?
Oh yeah.
You've heard that story?
Bruce's dad.
Bruce's dad. He would have been as rich as Bruce's dad, but he owned 10% of Apple in like 1978. He sold his entire 10% for $800. That 10%, I think it's somewhere around the worth now of $67 billion. But he sold it for $800. He sold it for like a month's rent. What?
Is he dead?
I mean, I don't know. Actually, that's a good question.
A lot
He's
of these
actually
stories
a financial
end,
advisor with Merrill Lynch. You want to give him a call?
a lot of these stories end unfortunately with
Poor fella.
No, he's still alive. He's 88 years old.
yeah,
And it's like on his Wikipedia, it says organization founded Apple. But
does it have his net worth today?
He sold, and then the equivalent dollars in 2021 that he sold it for was 3,810.
Public
Adjusting
speaking.
for
This guy's worth millions in a public speaking setting. So
let's see what his net worth is. Actually, I don't know what his net worth is, but I know it's not.
I didn't know this one.
Yeah,
That's bad.
400,000.
Ron Wayne.
Ronald Wayne. Yeah, Ronald
You
Wayne.
can't buy happiness.
400. That's true, but it would be nice to. We were
See,
just
this
talking
is-
about this beforehand. I can't now. I can. There's like this line from Mad Men where someone asked Don Draper like, "How do you sleep at night?" He goes, "On a bed made of money." And if you have like a bed made of money because you're worth $67 billion, then I feel like like you're gonna be kind of okay. And this guy to have a net worth of 400,000, which is, I don't know, a nice house. But it's not 67 billion. That's tough.
Grant Cardone would say he is a worthless person.
You know they have that
Is that clip?
I did, yeah.
saying money doesn't buy happiness. I don't believe that one fucking iota.
No, Grant Cardone is like one of those self guys who's like, get up, stop being a pussy, make the phone call. And he had like Big T had like a very viral blog about him because he was on stage saying, if you're a man married with a family and you make $400,000, you should be embarrassed. And then he goes on to say like his plane costs $2.7 million in maintenance a year. What do you think of that guy, Dave?
I mean,
Tough.
he's probably right. Maybe.
That's crazy, dude. That's a fuck up. Ron Wayne.
Did you not have that on your list?
No. You
Have
did?
you
I
never
did,
heard the
yeah.
story?
No, I
yeah.
did not.
Oh
No.
yeah, $800. It's worth about $3,000 today. Is that what you said?
3,800.
3,800. I had in my notes it would have been worth about $35 billion today, but
Maybe
I
the
mean-
stock went down in the market, but
Right, yeah.
the number that I saw was 67 billion. So that
Has he ever publicly commented on it?
I'm
not sure. Probably, but
No.
I mean, that's like Walter White shit.
He's 88 years old now. He's an old dude. So
Yeah.
I don't know exactly, but
So with our first ever Red Line Radio check that Carl and I cut ourselves, it was $1,000, right? In January or whatever of 2016. You dropped it off at my old office, I remember, and you're like, dude, this Bitcoin shit's hot. Go put $400 in it. And I sold it like 3 months later because I needed the $400 back, and just to like cover rent or something.
it was like half a Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Sorry,
at the
it was
time
half
it was
a
like,
Bitcoin.
It was half a Bitcoin. Yeah,
It was like some ridiculous. I don't know. It's worth. We could have just put more of it. We could have bought all Bitcoin. We'd be all in on Bitcoin. I think it was like $800 a share or something.
it was something.
Bitcoin
Yeah, it was something super low, and it got up to like 48,000 or whatever.
This is back in like 20.
Not too long ago, and 20 grand made me fucking pissed when I saw it, like was doing the math in my head. So imagine billions and billions.
Oh, this time recording is down about 16,000. So not
Yeah.
good.
This guy's
Still
on the
be
ground
$8,000.
floor, dude. You think Jobs tossed him a few or no?
I don't think so.
Why would he?
I
Why
think
would he?
Jobs tossed him the 800.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
would you?
Buyer beware,
Yeah, I'm fucking around.
seller beware.
All right.
Jobs was probably. Wouldn't you be mad if your guy was like, "I'm out"? Be like, fine, dude. Later.
Yeah, see you
Who's
You
the
don't
guy gonna
believe in
fucking
us?
come back
Yeah.
years later and be like, "Hey, guess what, dude? I was right, and I feel bad
No.
that you fucking didn't believe in me."
No, I know. I know. That's tough. All right, it's to me. I have 2 picks. I am going to go first with LeBron's decision.
It's a great blunder.
LeBron's decision. A young man, his hometown, kind of his hometown, his home state, went on national TV, spread his ass cheeks, and said, "See you later. I'm going to the sunny, beautiful South Beach of Miami. Good luck." And left the cupboard bare as fuck. Which, like, I know the arguments, like, to each their own. LeBron, they let him play with fucking 4 scrubs pretty much his whole time there. But, like, you got to have, like, some compassion to the cold weather, hardworking city of Cleveland who, like, lived and died with that guy. So it's just, like, go play in Miami, but, like, it's how you do it.
Okay. Yeah. So
That
that's
was a
what I was
fuck
going to
up.
ask.
It was a
You
fuck
didn't
up.
like the TV special.
Yes,
Yeah.
and like if I could fucking, the whole thing was a fuck up. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8. Like the whole thing was a fuck up.
Throwing yourself a championship parade for signing
Yes.
was tough. Look.
The whole thing, LeBron's pageantry
I don't
to
think it really
South
was a
Beach.
fucking
Oh, it was one of the probably most catastrophic, like,
I would-
planned sports PR things of all time.
It was
I would say that his
cringeworthy.
personal brand never recovered.
1,000%.
It has.
Absolutely
I
has.
think
He's
it
the most
has when he went
popular
back to Cleveland.
athlete on the
Winning the
planet.
championship did it. When
People still hate
coming back
him.
down 3-1 against a
They
Cavs.
hate
Yeah.
Brady.
Or-
They hate Ronaldo. They hate
The Warriors.
There's people that hate every good athlete.
I don't
I'm
know.
surprised Ed made this pick because Ed's forever, and I'm sorry to leak this, Ed's forever argued LeBron's better than MJ. And so,
Fuck you. Fuck you. That's
But he ended up getting
that's,
championships, and it's not like he was.
well, that's
a
why we
bust
never
and-
draft MJ on the graphic. We don't want to get you mad.
That's career damaging.
I apologize.
That's
That's
a
not true. That
that's
is
a false statement.
We'll get back to
I've-
this. That's slander.
That's
We haven't said that word
Thank
on here in
you.
a
Yeah.
long time. That's slander.
Not a LeBron guy. I'm an MJ guy. Just to be clear.
You don't even remember him.
Dana?
I was a Braun guy like middle school or not like high school too. Up until then, that's when I was like, "Fuck this guy." That when he did that on TV, and like I respected him because as a Celtics fan, like we had battles back in 07, 08, 09, whatever. And when he did that, like you're right, Eddie, he spit in the face of the gritty people of Ohio, of Cleveland, and ever since then, I really just haven't liked him. And I don't know. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, but you don't have to make a show out of it.
Yes.
So,
But where's
douchebag.
the fuck up? Everything went well for him afterwards.
Nobody's
It's not like it was some
That's a
life
fair
altering.
argument. That's
Yeah,
a
I mean,
fair
it
argument.
depends on how. But like Dana said, I think there's a lot of people like apparently like Dana, me, Eddie, who never looked at him the same way.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. But
Carl.
in that same respect, though, how great was it when he lost to Dirk?
it was
that
That
was
was
awesome.
the whole. I don't know if the
Jason
country's
Tyree.
ever been united as
That's
much.
what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
what you're saying, it wasn't a fuck up. He went from being like, I had no animosity towards LeBron
At
before
all.
he did that. Like
He was sweet, dude.
Yeah.
Watching
Yeah.
him, those Cavs teams would be like him and Eric Snow and,
Yes.
and fucking Zagonis or Zagunis.
Zadranus Ilgauskas.
Yeah, that big
Yeah.
motherfucker.
How about this, Dave? How about this? I had a LeBron Cavs jersey. I like
How
there was.
about this?
weird.
I had LeBron James shoes, the fucking Moonwalkers, in like senior year of high school or something. They were like $180. The fucking
Yeah, like
How-
that's what I'm
okay,
saying.
here,
Like,
question.
like you
They
say,
look
it
like
was no
moon
damage.
boots.
Yes, it did, dude. Like I
I'm
just don't
not-
think.
but-
I just don't think you really care
because
about
then
the
he was like a
NBA.
scumbag.
No, that's
Yeah.
not true. I absolutely loved the NBA back then because that was the year that Derrick Rose got drafted. I watched every single Bulls game. I was hooked to the NBA for a stretch.
Okay.
And I think that if he would have came to the Bulls, you wouldn't have given a flying fuck. Where the fuck up is that he didn't go to your team.
No.
So everybody else
No.
fucking
No,
hated him.
it's
You don't-
how bad. Like, okay, what he did is he took the Boys and Girls Club of like Akron, put them in a gym. Okay, went in there, signed autographs, had been born and raised in that fucking area, was the fucking guy, hometown grown guy, taking them to like the finals and shit. And then was like, here's my big decision. And the whole thing was like, oh, well, there's no way he's going to leave the Cavs if he's going to put on this big production.
Understand.
And it
And
turned
also
out to
admitted
be a fucking money grab from his agent. And he was like,
And-
I didn't, and now he regrets it. He's issued the
Yes,
fact
I
that,
know,
like, hey,
yeah.
he admits it was a blunder.
So how
and
are
you're
you gonna-
saying it's not a blunder.
I'm not saying it is and it isn't, but it's not like Chernobyl changed the course of history. This was just like, oh, what a douche.
You took Babe Ruth going to the fucking Yankees.
That changed the course of Major League Baseball history.
All right,
This
this changed
LeBron is
the
second
NBA.
best player of all
he
time.
went back to Cleveland and won championships there anyways.
So
the fuck up was remedied in the end.
LeBron is probably probably better compared to other basketball players in history than Babe Ruth is. You can make an argument like Barry Bonds is the best player of all time. You can make an argument Ted Williams is the best player of all time. That Willie Mays. Like, there's no LeBron. I don't know how you could just take Babe Ruth and then say this isn't a blunder.
Because the Red Sox fucked up giving away arguably, I mean, whatever point whatever you want to say, he's the fifth best baseball player of all time, 10th, whatever, best, doesn't matter. At the time, he was the best baseball player on the planet, and he was considered the greatest player of all time, probably till the '60s with Willie Mays and all that. And they
Dave.
gave him away for just.
But what
cash.
enables it being a blunder is that he is like considered one of the best of all
Yes.
time. And what enables this to be a blunder is that it's
I'm
LeBron
not-
is one of the best. Of all
I'm
time.
saying
if
it's just
LeBron was a
like-
fucking role player, nobody
Dave.
would be sitting around talking about it.
LeBron.
Dave,
Go, Dana. You can talk.
would you say that it fucked up his legacy at all?
Not really, because everybody says it's one or two. He's
Dave-
the best or he's the second best.
Dave, LeBron. One of LeBron's biggest flaws, in my opinion, is he's never been able to roll into that heel role.
I think he's
okay?
gotten over that very well
No,
over the last.
But he's never been able to. He's always wanted to be like the good. Like that made him a heel. Like everyone
yeah,
hated him
and then
because of
it got fixed.
What do you mean it got fixed? He did it again. He went to L.A.
Yeah, I know many Cleveland fans.
Yeah,
and they don't have animosity for him. So
yes,
it's
he
like,
went back and he won it for sure. Yes, for sure.
Was it a
I
fuck
get
up?
that.
Was he a young idiot just looking for a money grab? Yes.
But
Do
it's
I think
still
it,
a fuck up.
I'm
Just
not
because
saying
you
it's not
remedied-
a fuck up.
You
You
did.
You did.
I'm thinking.
You
I'm like
did.
it's a fuck up, but it's not like. It's so low on the fuck up scale. There's 1,000 other things
I
that
don't
could have
think
been
so.
done.
He also created the super team, which kind of
Yes,
made the
he also-
NBA.
yes,
Kevin
exactly.
Garnett and
That was
those
through
were guys
trades.
Those were through trades, and that was at the end of their careers. Like Kevin Garnett, Pierce, and Ray Allen were all. I think they're all in their 30s when that happened.
And it was also through trades.
Yeah.
This was all through free agent acquisitions. But I mean, Wade was there. There was a re-signing, but still.
Yeah.
Like this was bad. This was three guys
mean-
hauled up. It's like, yeah, let's play together. Let's make this. It was bad, Dave. It was bad.
I'm not saying it wasn't. I thought it was,
was a fuck
cringeworthy.
All right.
Ah.
Ed?
All right.
LeBron
my
going
next
to the
one,
Lakers?
My next one, very topical. No, my next one, very topical. I've actually never seen this movie somehow, but apparently, Matt Damon turning down Avatar.
Well,
Matt Damon.
I never knew he did that.
So listen to this. This is why it's one of the biggest fuck up. Matt Damon turned down Avatar, and he was offered 10% of the profits. Avatar is the highest grossing movie of all time. Made $2.9 billion. You guys do the math. What he would have made.
$290 million, right? Is that what it would be?
Is that chump change though to Matt Damon?
I don't think so.
No,
For
that's
one
not-
movie, Dana?
Not chump change, but it's like, is he gonna lose sleep over it?
How about this though? How much? I mean, I know it made a shit ton of money. Obviously, it probably makes even more if he's attached. So like you could probably bump that number up like I don't know, another 45 million something.
What's the dude's name? Jake in the movie. What's his real life name?
Sam Worthington.
He was like not any big time actor beforehand, right? And that like launched him.
I think it definitely helped him get into very
obviously helped
specific
him,
action
but-
roles. But I don't know. I thought he was.
I mean, he's not a
Somewhat
draw. Is
He,
what I'm
he
saying.
wasn't a Matt Damon.
He was
Yeah,
a guy
yeah.
who was going to go there and do whatever the fuck James Cameron told him to
Yes.
do and keep his mouth shut.
Can I
That's what
ask
he
you
was
something,
doing.
Ed?
Yeah,
You think you could have gotten that in the 5th round?
maybe, but I
A little
that's
topical too.
that's crazy.
A little topical.
That's crazy.
That is.
That's
Was
a
it the
fuck
whole
up.
franchise or just the
Just
first
one movie?
Just
Because
one
at the
movie?
point they didn't know if there were sequels or not.
Because now, has there been a sequel?
It's out or it's coming out soon.
Guys, I mean, it comes out this weekend.
It came out.
It's
It
like
comes
out.
out this weekend.
I
the
thought it's a
second
good.
one.
I thought it was a
Or
good
I should
movie.
say, well, this is recorded and.
Yeah.
So now it will be.
Hey,
So
it's out, man.
It's
Loved it.
Okay.
Yeah, but like, listen, I could have went with a chalky pick or something like that, but I like telling a story behind a pick, and I think if people hear the stats behind the pick, I don't think anyone could argue like, ooh, Matt Damon probably wants that one back. I think he probably moves the schedule and takes down the 120-day film shoot to make Avatar work with James Cameron, one of the best fucking directors of all time.
I like the idea of him being like,
Right?
nah, I got this indie film.
Yeah,
Like
right?
I'm gonna do like fucking the zookeeper's wife or
I think he
something.
probably paints himself fucking blue. Talks to Jennifer Lawrence, sees what it's like to be Mystique, and
Hey,
was like,
here's
yeah,
a-
I'm going to do this one.
Now, you already took Matt Damon taking Avatar, so I don't know if anybody. I'll just connect the dots on this one because there's like a connected fuck up on this one. So he did skip Avatar. When did Avatar come out? 2009.
Yeah.
And you said he turned down 10% of the profits. All right. What movie? There's a connected Matt Damon blunder. Is anybody sitting on another Matt Damon blunder?
No.
Okay, so he turned down another role in like 2016 for one of the best movies of the year in what would have been like an Academy Award winning fucking monster.
I hope this doesn't crush me.
I hope it does.
So that he could be in the movie The Great Wall.
Never heard of it.
No, I
which
don't
is
think I have
quite
either.
literally the worst movie of all time. And it's one of those movies where you're like, well, I've fucking missed out on Avatar. I got to do the next big fantasy sci-fi thing. And it's like a fantasy sci-fi ancient Chinese Great Wall of China. He's a fucking
remember this
American.
now.
He's like a traveler on the Silk Road. It's one of the worst movies of all time is my point. And if you're saying that he passed on Avatar for 10%, I'm willing to say the reason he did the Great Wall and not the other one then is because he's missing out. So not only is it a blunder in that sense, Ed,
He fucked up twice.
it's a fuck up bad.
Yeah.
It's a great pick.
What
Thanks.
was the other
Fucking
one?
guy's
I got to find out the
Who's this
movie
guy?
he skipped.
What'd you say, Dana?
So who's this guy's agent? Who's letting him do this shit?
I think he's a free bird, bro. He
Yeah,
probably
I would
fucking-
imagine he.
He's like, my brain is the best.
And
Maybe.
I mean, he's got. It's one of those things where he's got a pretty good track record.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't think he's like an ego guy. He
Everybody's
seems like,
got
He seems
those
like he's a
stinkers.
because he's the thing about Damon, and he wasn't like a child star. He made it at the right time. I feel where he like probably is well grounded, where he knows like he has pretty good intuition. I bet.
Yeah.
I think he's good.
What was the movie where I think he was a Siamese
Even though
twin?
I just took it as a fuck
Oh,
up.
fuck.
I don't think I've ever seen it,
No,
but I remember
it's
just
a,
thinking
it's a Fairly
like,
Brothers
Stuck
movie.
with you.
Stuck with you. Stuck on you.
Suck on you.
oh,
Yeah.
if it's I didn't realize that because I love those guys. They make some of my favorite comedies, and I just assumed it was a piece of shit. I'm like, why is Matt Damon in this movie?
Yeah, it's
Like
not
that.
bad. It's not
I
bad.
think Tom Brady's in it.
What was the movie? Oh God.
I think it's Manchester by the Sea.
Oh shit.
Oh,
He
he
like
was
was
going to be the
behind
Casey
it.
Affleck.
He was
bro?
like, yeah, man was
Oh,
like, oh,
damn.
Casey, you do this, I'm gonna do this.
All right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
I drafted that for like the saddest
Sad movie,
Yeah,
yeah.
saddest.
So
Oh,
did I.
that is the
I've
sad.
seen it.
Oh,
Waterfalls.
you'll cry.
That's the saddest. That's the
I've never
saddest
cried
shit
at a
I've ever
movie.
seen.
Yeah, it is. It
I
is
had
sad.
I had waterfalls coming out of my eyeballs when I watched.
For
it.
that
I
one.
think there are two scenes in that movie that might be the saddest moments of all time.
All right, that's it. Matt Damon turning down Avatar. My second rounder. Chief.
All right, so I'm going more to the Dana Beers route here with a historical one, and I'm sure I could probably get this in the 5th round, but whatever. The story is crazy. You guys know who Mao is. I'm sure Ed does, right?
I didn't know this until this morning when I was
We've seen
Googling.
all the memes. So Mao gets in charge of China. This is like 50 something, and he's looking around all these fucking birds. He's like, these birds are a goddamn nuisance. These sparrows. Let's kill all the sparrows. So they do. The whole Chinese countryside, they just wipe out all the sparrows. Sparrows eat the locusts. Locusts come through, eat all the crops because there's no sparrows keeping them in check. Tens of millions of people die from famine because Mao is like, I don't like those fucking birds. Get rid of them.
That's your guy, Ed.
So not only did he have like the great cleansing where he like killed all his political rivals to the tune of like 50 million people, then like once he was in power a few years later, he does the war on the sparrows, and that leads to like a colossal, like one of the greatest famines of all time. Worst famine ever.
Now, is it insensitive to say his biggest fuck up was the war on the sparrows?
Well, that's what led to the famine. So
Well,
yeah, if
and
you
I
didn't
would
do
say,
that,
well, yes, because
And not the...
well, the other thing where he was doing that on purpose. So this was just like, I don't like those birds, and like the people, like I think it makes it a bigger blunder to kill people by accident.
Yeah.
So Mao's war on the sparrows, famine.
Ill-advised.
Ill-advised.
I would say, yeah.
Gotta know the fucking
Ill-advised.
ecosystem,
Yeah.
Dana.
Everything's in balance. Just let it be.
Mother Nature
Yeah.
has its own system. Let Mother Nature be.
Any comment on the sparrows, Dana?
I'm just waiting now for someone to make a meme out of this with you killing a bunch of sparrows. I'm not creative enough to think of what it would be, but someone's gonna make something.
Yeah. I got nothing against sparrows, to be clear.
Do you like sparrows?
What's the population looking like today?
Of China or
Well,
sparrows?
sparrows. Well,
Oh, I don't know.
Did they have a rebound?
I would assume.
yeah. What do we know? Sparrow.
They probably started
Sparrows.
laying eggs by like the dozens because of all the locusts. That's how nature balances itself out.
I don't know. I'm not going to be able to Google
Now,
that.
are you going to say that to him? He could have got this in the fucking 5th round.
I said
Dana.
that to myself.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, well, Chief is. I'm expecting Chief to have 5 bad picks because that's what he does.
Did you not like the Ronald Wayne one? That is a good pick.
I mean, Chief.
More
I know
people
you're gonna have
died
your
from
Chief
this than Chernobyl. Maybe my next pick should be Dana Beers choosing Cincinnati.
Ooh.
That was fucked up. That was
you
fucked up.
You bring it up. I mean, it's kind of funny because it is Cincinnati of all. But the more you think about it, it's like kind of like genius.
I said that too. I said that we did
It's an incredibly passionate part of the country that
Yeah.
is historically wildly underserved by Barstool.
Mm-hmm.
There's legal gambling all over the place. They're crazy about their college. They got an NFL team, and nobody's fucking touching Cincinnati anywhere. And Dana, 2 years from now, will be the
mayor.
most fucking popular guy in like Cincinnati internet culture. It's
I get
such
a
a
lot of
smart
shit.
move.
He's doing a podcast
And the
with
travel
Joe Burrow.
isn't even that fucking hard. Like, yeah,
Yep.
he's going to
Burrow,
be
I
playing
get a lot
golf
of
with Joe
shit.
Burrow. Pardon?
Skyline.
I get a lot of shit for some of the stupid moves I make sometimes, but I think it's genius too.
Did you think all that out, what he just said?
God no.
Like, dude, those people are craving somebody to be like, let's fucking
I
go,
know,
Cincy.
Exactly. Yes, and so like I went there this weekend, and it's crazy because they pretty much are like acting like I'm this huge deal, which I don't think I am, but I think they're just happy to have someone embracing them because they don't really get a whole lot of attention, like what Carl's saying. So I didn't really mean to do that because this is going to be something far past Barstool when I'm like fucking 80 and I'm going to be rooting for the Bearcats. But that part definitely doesn't hurt, I don't think.
How do you feel about Xavier?
A bunch of clowns. They're like, you're a. I mean, I love you, Chief, but you're like you're what's it called, private school kid, right? That's just them. They're a bunch of private school.
Yeah, I mean, I did both. Yeah,
He is wearing the
I'm wearing it right
the
now,
Q-zip
actually.
today,
Yeah,
too.
the Berkshire quarters.
Yeah, they have no grit. They have no grit. They, they're very spoon.
Didn't they get into a fight on the court
Yeah,
like 5-6 years ago, something
They
like
did.
that?
Yeah, Yancey Gates. He gave him a right hook.
It's a great rivalry.
And we know as Midwest guys too, like Cincinnati people, like they got a lot of pride too. Like
yeah.
Cincinnati is like underrated too as far as the city goes, I would say.
I went to
I like
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually heard that before. A lot of people in MLB would say like Cincinnati is a bad place to go because the ballpark sucks. But a lot of the players
I've been
will
to it. I
say
liked
that
it.
like it's one of the most fun places because there's a ton of places you can go and like you can just like the bar scene is
I like Cincinnati.
rowdy, dirty,
Yeah.
grimy.
I was with
Awesome.
I went to the Blackhawks game last week with my buddy who's from Cincinnati, and this kind of ties into our baseball discussion we had yesterday on Redline. He said that their owner, his net worth is $400 million.
Yeah, it's because he bought it from Marge Schott or whatever.
Yeah, like 90 when they
Yeah.
forced her to sell her, whatever year that was in the 90s. Because wasn't she like a giant racist or
Yeah,
something?
she had
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
She
bad.
had some
We actually
problems.
probably shouldn't. She's like the worst person in like the later 20th century. in
Okay.
She had
sports.
some problems.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what she did or said. I just remember she was bad.
Yeah.
But like to have like individual players getting single contracts that are more than an owner's net worth seems like a problem. Seems like the Reds are never going to be able to compete if that's the case.
We'll see.
Sucks for them.
MLB team too. You get that?
Yeah. All right. White Sox, Dave.
This one is near and dear to my heart. It's Pete Carroll not giving the ball to Marshawn Lynch in Super Bowl 49. Biggest fuck up I've ever. Marshawn Lynch is the best running back in football for that, those few years. There was no way they were stopping him 3 straight times. No way. 4 straight times. Whatever it was, whatever down it was, it doesn't matter. He was getting in the end zone and you elect to pass the ball. What planet am I on?
I think that's a great pick.
I think maybe because it was a conscious decision that led to the fuck up.
Yeah.
It wasn't just he fucked up because he fumbled or something, which is also a fuck up, obviously. But Pete Carroll elected to throw the ball instead of giving the ball to Marshawn Lynch.
I think this is one of those like moments in time that if they did give it to him, then the Patriots don't come back against the Falcons. Because
Exactly. It's like the butterfly effect.
They end up like cursed because they had the Giants, the 2 Giants that had like the miracle catches. Seattle had a miracle catch in that game to get him down there.
Oh, yeah. It,
And
like,
was
landed in him when he was on his
it's
back.
Like, it would almost be like, are the Patriots, like, did they sell their soul and are they cursed now?
Right.
It's the butterfly effect. That exact play. And like you said, and I always love cherry picking against Tom Brady. Not necessarily as much anymore, but
It's bad.
people don't remember who made that catch.
I don't remember.
I remember the play vividly. I just remember who it was. He was
Kurtz.
laying on his back, and it just landed
Kurtz.
in his lap, and he
Kurtz?
got out and took it down to the goal line, basically.
Yeah, it was Curse.
Okay.
Javon Curse couldn't have his. No, I'm joking.
Javon-
I know, it's
Okay.
not in Madden. But yeah, it was to this day it pisses me off.
Bad. That's a great pick.
I was a senior in college for that play, that Super Bowl, and we were all just crammed in one room, like 20 of us, and all Patriots fans. And once again, it was the same, similar to the Atlanta situation, where totally different situation, but you kind of felt like you were dead, and like the obvious thing to do was just give the ball to Marshawn. Patriots are dead. Like I remember, I think I had my back turned, and everyone started going nuts. I was like, "How the fuck could something have happened right now where they won this game?" I see the replay, and it's like, "Are you shitting me? They didn't give the ball to Marshawn." So I think it's a great pick. I mean, it was in that moment. It just felt like again there was no way the Patriots have any chance to win this game. Like something catastrophic would have to happen from the Seahawks. So I think that's a good pick. I mean, again. Dave, you said it, but he was one of the best running backs in the league. Not even just running backs, but like goal line backs at that time.
Oh,
Yeah,
he was
so
a horse,
monster.
beast mode.
It's a
So
great.
Richard
That's a fuck
Sherman's
up in
mean,
face
diminish
when that pick happened.
No, it's a great pick. I'm just going to throw some little devil's advocate here. Great play. It's a great play. It's probably a better play than it is a
jumped
worse
route.
blunder.
Fuck that.
Come on,
no
dude.
Way.
That's a great fucking play. Jumping that route.
That
Have you ever seen
Pete Carroll
the,
will
have you ever
always
seen,
be
like,
The
remembered
do your
for that.
job thing.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my God, that's porn. That when like it's the DB's coach that's telling him, he like basically is talking about that play ahead of time. Like,
Yeah.
during practice that week. That's fucking Patriots porn right there.
Didn't they cut Malcolm Butler that next season? He was like a role guy, like a
No,
nickel
he
guy,
got a
right?
big deal
he
from
got
the
a-
Titans.
Yeah, I think-
he played one more year, I think, or something. In the Titans.
He got a contract, and then I think the next whatever Super Bowl they were in, I don't know, not the Rams one, but there was one of them where the Patriots lost, and they didn't play
Giants.
Malcolm Butler for some
Giants.
stupid Belichick reason of like when a player fumbles and you don't play him for 6 games, like one of those Belichick rules, and we got toasted all game, like where Malcolm Butler usually would be. So, And then after that, he went to the Titans. And
I think it was the Eagles Super Bowl then, right?
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
In 2018.
That's
on the
right.
outside.
I forgot you guys
Yeah.
lost that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
That
tough.
Super Bowl is like
Which one?
that because that was like one of the all-time great Super Bowls. That Eagles Patriots, and I feel like it's never talked about.
Eagles Patriots?
Yeah.
Like kind of just dumped on 'em, right?
No,
I thought the Eagles won that
I
handily.
Yeah.
thought it came down to like a Hail Mary at the end.
No.
I don't know.
No, it was close, but I think they won by 2 scores in the end. But it was close towards the end, and then I think the Eagles scored.
No, I
like
thought
a-
the backdoor Philly play was the backdoor.
41-38.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
I like this pick too because whereas different from yours, Carl, you could really pin this to one play.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a fuck up. Most games, it's like a large collection of things.
A large collection of small fuck ups.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is like, whoa.
This was the
That's the
ultimate fuck up. Yeah.
So that's why at the start we were talking about like is it a moment or is it a broader time
Yeah.
space as far as fuck up moments are concerned? Yeah, dude, that specific moment is as dumb as it gets.
Bad.
I will still say, you're sitting on a 25-point lead. You got, it's also tough. That's 4 scores. Ed.
Speaking of games, I want to talk about the Game Time app, the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Give the gift of an awesome experience this holiday season with Game Time. If you're nervous that your present won't arrive in time or simply forget about the holidays, shop Game Time. Game Time tickets get delivered to your phone and inbox instantly. Game Time has all the best tickets, and you'll get an awesome price on them. If you haven't given Game Time a shot yet, now's the time. I mean, hey, it's the fucking 19th of December. You're against the clock. You're against the clock.
Yeah.
Dana, you went to a bunch of the whole tailgate tour was Game Time, right? You went to all those games?
Dude. Every single game that I went to this fall was Game Time, and we were sitting, I don't know, 5th row, 6th row every time. Easy access to go storm the field. Whole time we were, just taking pictures and videos of how great the seats were. So it was all shout out to Game Time. I couldn't be happier that they were along for the old Dana Beers 30-year-old tour of fall 2022.
Awesome. Download the Game Time app, go to the account tab to create a login, redeem code DOGWALK for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Download Game Time, last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Dana, you're up.
I mean, I hate going chalk again, but I kind of feel like the Titanic's right there. The Titanic hitting the fucking iceberg is right in front of me. I guess I'm going chalk. Titanic.
It's a combination of tough circumstances. They tried to evade it, right? It wasn't like a big iceberg. It wasn't a huge blow to the hull. It was just enough scrape for it to leak, and then
Fucking technology wasn't good enough yet.
I
didn't
remember,
know.
Yeah,
I
you
think
gotta
it was
slow it down.
Mythbusters. They said if they would have just not veered
gone
off,
straight
gone
on.
head on, then it wouldn't have been the catastrophe that it turned into. Not obviously not having enough boats.
That
Wait,
was
if they just would have
people-
smashed it head on?
Yeah,
I guess,
the boat would not have sank. Now, I don't know if the boat would have kept going, but that thing ain't sitting at the bottom of the Atlantic if it goes that onto the iceberg. That's some study that they said it's relatively widely accepted, I would say. The fact that I know about it and Dave knows about it, I think should be enough for the science community.
Yeah.
Dana, who do you put the blame on most? Iceberg spotters, captain, engineering, lifeboat, malfunction design.
Listen, at the end of the day, it's like the head coach of a football team. It's on the fucking captain, Carl.
He went down with the ship.
It's on the captain. He's even if it's not his fault, he's got to take the blame. I don't even know if he died. He probably
He did.
did.
It's probably the
Yeah.
most memorable scene in the movie. And I shouldn't say memorable, but it's pretty.
I mean,
it's
that's,
pretty heavy when he's standing there and the fucking
it's a
water
very-
comes in,
comes in
it
through the-
smashes him, and he's
it's
just
a
holding
fictional
on to the.
movie.
Hey, if any plus of the Titanic, and also Nate always gets pissed at me because I took a picture in front of the Titanic memorial once, tossing up a 1, like I was making fun of it. I was just taking a picture with the fucking memorial.
That is insensitive, dude. A
Is it?
memorial, you put up the 1 in front. Any
All right.
memorial, I think, is a little.
Nate got mad at you
No,
for
it
that?
wasn't a memorial. It was like a what's it called?
Was it like like?
No, it was like in Las Vegas or something. It was like a fucking.
Is it celebrating it, or are they trying to remember the fact that those
celebrating.
people
It was
died horrifically?
Memorial was not the word. It was a celebration of the Titanic.
Was it a museum?
Yes. That's what it was. It's in Vegas. Go look it up. I'm not making this up.
Eddie, what do you think about that?
I think it's been 100 years, so I think you're
You're-
good, Dana.
You like museums?
I wasn't like making fun. I was just like, oh, here's tossing up the one. You know, like shout out to the Titanic.
One survivor.
Well, people were doing that when I was in New York and went down to the World Trade Center Memorial. There's like people taking happy pictures and being goofy and stuff on social media, and
That's weird.
it is
That's weird.
infuriating.
Yeah.
What the Fox graphic or whoever it was, what was that for? It was like Yankees Mets game or something from last summer, and they had a graphic of the ground zero now, and what did they do? Ed, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it was like
And everyone's like, "What the fuck is Fox or NBC or what?" This was only a few months ago. I forget the.
I know what you're talking about. I
yeah.
can't remember I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was
It was very insensitive, and it was like kind
was
of
not tasteful. We'll say that.
offensive. You know,
What are you laughing at?
I mean, how long should we keep talking about a story that nobody can remember?
Yeah, I mean, true, fair.
Well, he's pulling. I'm trying to help the guy out. He's, you're jumping out of the boat. I'm in here fucking throwing water out of it. Fuck you.
all right, the Titanic.
Do you remember this? No, I don't remember. Do you remember that? No, I don't remember. Well, it was this thing. It was either Fox or NBC.
Major
White Sox
network.
Dave.
That's clues. We're
Somebody did something that was
I'm trying to
insensitive.
pull it out of you
Do you
guys.
remember? Well, you know now. Dave's
Negative.
gonna get tagged in a bunch of stuff on Twitter.
White Sox Dave. All right, the Titanic.
Titanic's off the board.
Carl.
I'm gonna stay light. I'm gonna take the Chris Webber timeout. It's just a bad moment. All-time college basketball blunder. Still plays. The fact that it's the Fab Five, they got the baggy shorts. You know, there's that bad boy image and all that stuff. And you know how many fucking dads are sitting at home being like, didn't know how many timeouts. You see that one there? You know, telling the kid, like, can't forget the type of guys that inherently would cheer against the Fab Five were probably just fucking high-fiving each other across the country. Still, bad blunder. Bad blunder. Big Ten, staying on the Big Ten, man. That's tough.
Yeah.
I wish I could have seen that. Like, I don't remember it. If I was a Michigan fan or something, I think I would have gone on like a rampage down the block or something.
No, it's a fuck up, but it's one of those where it's like, can you?
Yeah, you got to know how many timeouts, man.
Yeah, but you're kind of.
There's no yeah but to this one.
mean,
He
fucked up.
Fucked up beyond.
That's
I don't
a
know what you're
fuck up.
talking about.
Yeah. You got to know.
It's one of the top 3 or 4 all-time sports fuck-ups ever, I
It
would
is.
say.
It is. I'm trying to.
Poke holes in it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to help out Chris Webber.
I think he did all right.
Yeah, he ended up. Bygones be bygones.
15-year NBA career. It's on TV still. It is what it is. But that was fuck up.
He fucked up bad.
Did you not the Bad Boys, the Fab Five documentary where they tried to pin it on like that one like 5th-year senior like volunteer, a guy on the bench who was signaling like if they frame by frame like you could see like he was telling Weber to call timeout, and that they say that's why Weber called it because someone from the bench was telling him to call it.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'll say this as a guy that, scored multiple 20-point games in high school. You don't really think about timeouts when you're in the heat of the moment and there's 15. I can't remember like thinking, hey, I have 0 timeouts left. Maybe I'm a stupid basketball player. Maybe I make a lot of mistakes when I played back then. But like in that moment, I don't know. You kind of just sometimes you might just forget as an athlete. I don't know. You tell me.
Well, you
Yeah,
were just
here.
too busy getting buckets to worry about timeouts.
Yeah, you never needed those timeouts
Yeah,
anyways.
you're
when
like,
you were
I'm
in
just
high
taking it to the hole. Who needs a
And you
timeout?
get closed in on a trap like that, you just.
Oh,
fuck.
that's panic mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Panic. You try to do the right thing.
Yeah. All right, Carl. Next one.
We're gonna stay basketball. Now we're gonna go professional. I'm gonna take the Blazers drafting Sam Bowie over Michael
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have done that.
Who needs 2 guards?
Obsessed
see it.
with like the
Only argument.
big man. Sam Bowie's an Olympic player.
He was a great college player, I guess.
No, they wanted big man. They wanted big man to complement Clyde the Glide, not the other best perimeter player at the time or one of the.
Yeah, he was great.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Who went number 1 in that draft?
Hakeem.
Yep.
What are you giggling at over there? Ed?
Giggling at.
Nothing.
What are you big?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if there's really anything to say about this.
Nope.
It's like you passed on Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Well, I know, especially you as a LeBron guy.
Can I say? I think Carl's already won the draft.
You think so?
I do.
Why? I feel like it's like I feel like he's super sports.
This is Barstool Sports, man, and these are three of the most memorable. Like I'm gonna have to. Who's gonna know Ronald Wayne and Mao when we're going through the poll?
I mean, that's is that part of your consideration?
Don't even call the count. No, not
Are
for
you
me.
fucking? You're counting out fucking Dana Beers. Dude's got Chernobyl and Titanic
Dude,
boxed.
I have Chernobyl and Titanic. What are you talking about, Chief? We're not all taking fucking Ronald Wayne in our first pick.
Yeah, just because you fucking took Sparrow.
I mean, he's taking like tragedies, like awful, like really
did I.
heavy,
Yeah.
really heavy stuff. Dana, like,
Well, Dana and I are gonna have to compete for the council's vote to see who gets on that poll at this point.
But that's good.
Yeah.
All right, Dana. Where
I've decided
like
on
what,
that
what do we
note,
what do we got next, Dana? I can't wait. Like some world extinction event from 50 million years ago.
I'm not too worried about fucking Sparrow Boy over there. I think I'm all right with Chernobyl.
He's not worried about the death of like 50 million people. That's fine.
All right, here we go. Is it my pick? It's my pick, right?
Yeah.
All right, you want some sports for Barstool Sports? I got two baseball ones I'm in between. One of them is obviously, I don't want to put some pain on the room, and the other one would put some pain on my father, a Red Sox fan.
I know what you got.
I guess I got to go with Bartman though. I gotta go with Bartman. I'm gonna do it. I know the Chicago listeners aren't gonna be happy to hear it, but it was a fuck up. Moises Alou, he wasn't gonna. He wasn't.
spiked his mouth.
I get sad. I'm a Red Sox fan. I'm getting sad for you guys. You tell me, Bartman. I don't know. How was it? How was the vibe in the city after all that?
I mean, I think the bigger blunder.
great.
It was kind of like, well, it doesn't matter because Kerry Wood's going tomorrow, and Mark Pryor and Kerry Wood in their history had like never lost. The Cubs had like not lost in back-to-back games since they like ever pitched. And then Kerry Wood came out later and like hit a home run, and they had a lead in Game 7.
Yep.
So they had plenty of opportunities, and they had like a 4-run lead when that happened. So the blunder really, like the collapse, I think it was more of like a big violent drunk reaction to Steve Bartman than you need someone to blame. But
it was definitely the media sensation afterwards because there was so much. Same thing with because there were so many things to look at, like the Alex Gonzalez error.
Yeah.
Like there were so many things to point at, but it was just like the juicy thing to look at was the fucking nerdy guy with the glasses
Yeah, it's a
and
great
the fucking
story.
the
Yeah.
Walkman.
turtleneck.
Yeah, the guy who literally brought a Walkman to the game to listen to the
first
radio
row.
broadcast.
He was definitely keeping score.
he was so dialed in, he probably like just lost concept of.
Let's blame that guy. So like
I don't
He
think it
does
was
have a blamable face though. Like we talk about punchable faces, he has a blamable face.
It's a good name too, Bartman.
if he
that's
was
such
Smith or Williams or
Yeah.
Adams or
no,
something,
it's like
no one-
fucking Bartman.
Bartman.
Yeah,
His
it's a
name's
bad-
Bartman.
But it was like in real
was
time
what-
though too. It wasn't just the media.
Oh no, it
No,
was
it's the
very
Fox
They
much.
had to
News
usher
crew.
him out of there.
But yes, but the more it became, then it became they blew up the ball at Harry Carey's.
Yeah.
And then it
Yeah,
became
yeah,
like
yeah,
that's what like it feasted. You know,
Yeah.
they sank their teeth into it.
Didn't he have to like go into, or he just never?
No, he moved to
went public?
Florida, and then he will
see-
not ever talk about it or do anything. Like
It's
He
all
wasn't on the
hearsay.
30 for
I heard
30
he
or
never left. Someone's like, "Yo, dude, I heard he's."
shut the
I
fuck
swear
up,
to you,
dude. He
it's one of
moved.
those things you hear stories to this day.
Hey, Ed.
bro, no one's ever
Stakeout?
seen
If I not
chasing Bartman.
you can't, dude. That's too insensitive.
I agree,
It
but
is.
you're a stakeout guy.
Sorry.
I would love
Poor
to
guy.
stake him out, but that's too insensitive.
Why don't you stake out Moises Alou, you insensitive fuck?
But fuck.
He's the one. Why don't you stake out Alex Gonzalez? Yeah. Or Kyle Farnsworth for giving
Or
up the
any
double
of
to
the
Jeff
other
Conine.
fucking 24 fans that were around him also.
Yeah,
reaching
you're
for the
right.
ball.
And
I would
that's what-
love to meet one of those guys, by the way, for like a dog walk interview.
that were by him.
that were also going for the
Well,
ball.
the one guy in the documentary was like such an asshole.
Yeah,
Because he's like, oh, it wasn't me. And then they show the camera. I'm like, you were absolutely, like, you
Going
bowled
for
him
it.
over going for that ball.
dude.
I would love
And
to
you're
sit
right.
down.
It was definitely in the moments like it's a fan, but then it was like, all right, let's just fucking regroup.
Let's
and
get it
then,
out.
like, yeah,
One
exactly.
out.
Yeah, and
There's
then
2
it
outs
was
in the
like
8th.
dusty. Like there was multiple layers, and like where that's what I mean. At the end, like we could have looked at all of those. No, we just feasted on this guy in a Walkman,
And it's different.
and that's why I say the media. Even though in real time, yes, it was a
agree
thing
with you.
too.
It's different because, like, for Jeffrey Mayer, for instance, that should have been an out.
Jeffrey
But there was-
Mayer is the guy who caught the ball against the
Orioles.
caught Derek
Yeah.
Jeter's home run, I believe, in 1996 or 97.
Yeah, one of those years, one of Jeter's first couple years with the Yankees. Like that should have been an out. This the fan didn't do anything wrong. The plane wasn't broken into the playing field, but he fucked up. You got to get away from that ball. I've always kind of thought about that in my head too. If I'm sitting in his exact position as a White Sox fan, I would have monetized the fuck out of that. I would have been like fucking batting that ball away from Moises Alou, and with all the hate I'd get, I would just soak it in and try to make.
You'd have
money.
a statue down on the south side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What?
For every death threat I get, I tweet the screenshot of it. I'm gonna fucking kill you and your family.
Oh, Jesus!
Look at this guy.
What's going on?
Well, he was getting death threats.
Chernobyl, Titanic, Bartman.
That's a pretty solid list. I don't know about what Sparrow thinks, but I think that's a good list.
That's good. We'll see.
White Sox Dave.
Yeah, so I'm going to go down the list of all the funny picks because Chief said that this draft is already over and that Carl is victorious. I'm going to go with Michael Bolton fucking up the decimal point in the Office Space
Great pick.
scam.
Great pick. Love
Great
that
movie.
I actually haven't seen that movie in a while, and I love that movie. I've seen it like 1,000 times, but not in a handful of
They
years
should
now.
remake it with COVID now, like Office Space 2 COVID style.
Zoom. Just a bunch of people acting like their Zoom froze and they're just going back to bed because they're hungover.
I saw recently that they put Lawrence in a Walmart commercial, which is genius. You know Lawrence, the guy next
the
door?
neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two chicks at the same time?
Yeah.
They put him in a Walmart
Yeah.
commercial.
What would you
My cousin's broke. He ain't do shit. That's not in it. You don't need $1 million to do shit. Not do shit, Peter.
He don't do shit. Great
My
movie.
cousin-
It's so
Bro,
funny
yeah.
when he's telling her the whole scheme. He's like, nobody knows this other than you. And then he's like, hey, Peter, can you shut the fuck up over there? And she's like, who is that? Obviously, you can hear. And he's like, oh, that's Lawrence. Like, he's cool. Don't worry about him.
Yeah. No, I love this movie.
It's a perfect.
What's Mike Judge doing now? Mike
Yeah,
Judge
he
is
does.
is
He's
Mike Judge
around.
an
Was that-
underrated? Is he like underrated?
King of the Hill. That's King of the Hill.
Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill.
I didn't
Office
know that was
Space.
Mike Judge. I didn't.
He's behind a ton of shit too. Other than that, I think.
I saw the dude.
think.
You know who's the guy that's in the movie or Office Space where he's in like a full body cast. I saw him in like a TV show the other day, and I just laughed out loud. I was like, "That's the guy from Office Space who's just hurt all the time."
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
he was the lawyer in Casino randomly.
Holy fuck! And he's behind Silicon Valley.
Mike Judge.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a great
There's
sign.
another movie, Idiocracy, which isn't like generally popular, but has a crazy cult following because it's
What was the name?
it's
of
like
it?
a hilarious satire
You're right.
on American society and like where we're headed. And it was in 2006. It's like really, really, really funny.
What was the name of that again?
Idiocracy. It stars Luke Wilson, and it's like in the future, and it's fucking hilarious.
Never heard of it.
Mike Judge.
Mike Judge is
If you
I've never
haven't seen a picture
Silicon
too,
Valley,
Google
but
a picture of Mike Judge. It'll surprise you. I was picturing
I've
a guy
no
in
idea what
his.
he looks like.
I was picturing like a really like chubby, older, kind of disgusting.
He's a
looking-
handsome bald man.
No, he's just like a really handsome.
He's a
clean
really
cut dude.
good-looking bald
Yeah.
guy, but he's got like the Costanza bald too. He's not like shaved big bald. He's just a handsome bald guy. Mm-hmm. It gives me hope.
So, anyways, Office Space, great fucking pick. That opening scene when he's blasting the rap in traffic and he's like rolling.
He
So
sinks in the seat.
like, who hasn't been in that situation? Who hasn't like been like rolling up and? That's
I
so
did
funny. Jennifer Aniston too had your girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
My girlfriend, yes.
I love her.
I did like a supporting character Hall of Fame that was lost. It was like a blog series that was lost in the DevNest days, and Lawrence was the first inductee. I love him.
He was great.
He's great, but
But we're taking the decimal point, Michael.
yes,
Michael-
yes. Sorry,
Michael
it is
Bolton.
nothing. Neither here nor
But
there.
we just talking about the movie is worth the pick, sure. But
Yeah,
the
yeah,
movie
yeah.
is so
Sorry,
good.
Yeah. It was
I
great.
think
It's
it's
a good
got to be
pick.
one of the more everybody loves it and it gets a decent fanfare, but I think it's one of my favorite comedies ever.
I'm with you, Dave. And I would like to make an endorsement to the younger guys that listen to this because this was like a small, not marketed.
No, exactly.
There's definitely
Like
like
low
younger guys,
production.
college guys, high school, like people that are hearing this have no idea what we're talking about. I endorse this movie. It's like a home run for like a kid born in the 80s. When we grow, it was so fucking funny. So if
That-
you haven't seen it, go check it out.
The traffic jam
we
at the beginning.
were blessed to be born in the golden age of like comedic movies. And
The when they take the printer or whatever it is out to the field
Yeah.
and Michael Bolton's just beating the
Great
shit.
scene.
You could see the anger in his face And that's what you lived with. If you're like a college kid, you haven't experienced this yet, but if you've lived the life of a cube rack for any amount of time, you know that movie is just a home run, satirical outlook on it.
Copier's down. Hey, Mike, copier's down. Bobby's going to come by and fix it between 5 and 8 p.m.
Oh, the boss asking for shit 5 minutes before the weekend's supposed to start.
God, fucked up. Chief, you're up.
Stapler guy.
I'll go sports and I'll stay.
Milton?
Dana, you like it?
Milton.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Been
so
sound on you
did
guys
we even
talking
ask
about
Dana
him.
for his opinion? I'm sorry.
No, I was a little late to that, but Milton, the Stapler guy, one of
Oh,
the
yeah.
all-time ancillary characters in movie history.
He's great.
They just keep shoving him to the basement. He got his revenge.
Chief?
I'll go sports and I'll go Mitch over Mahomes. So as we'll stay here, we'll stay Chicago, we'll go sports. But Mitch over Mahomes it's one of those, like, now you're watching him in Pittsburgh. It's like we'll just never really fully escape, and
That's too deep.
that's one of the all-time draft blunders. Is Mitch over Mahomes? You need a quarterback, trade up to get your guy, and then that's the guy.
Mahomes wasn't like.
Yeah, is that...
Dude,
I don't
if
know. What's
you're-
your perspective
if
on
your
that? I want Dana's perspective
If
on
your
that.
job is to evaluate quarterbacks and you're like, that's the guy and he's not, that's a major blunder.
I want Dana's perspective.
I mean, I personally think Mahomes was absolutely slinging it in college, so I would have preferred him over Mitch, who was kind of unproven at the time. I wouldn't say it's like an all-time fuck-up, but it's definitely a fuck-up. Looking back, I don't think Mitch was ever this guy that was going to be like an all-pro quarterback.
Exactly.
I'm saying it's a fuck-up, but it's not like you also can't promise that Patrick Mahomes is going to be Patrick Mahomes what he is now. Like,
To
how
your
are you
point,
supposed to know?
To me,
I don't
this
think
is
many
similar
people said
to-
anything when that happened, though. It was everything afterwards that turned it into a fuck up. Nobody was like, "Oh, they fucked up so bad not taking Mahomes over Mitch."
I think if it's Bowie over Jordan, then this is in this very similar category.
No way.
Yes. Because
No
no
way.
one was killing them for taking Sam Bowie ahead of Jordan at the same time, to your point that you just
I don't
made.
know that they were. I wasn't alive.
We
I mean,
talked
I thought
about
it was like, well, I don't know.
Sam Bowie is an All-American, 7 foot whatever, and he just had shitty knees, and that's why he didn't pan out. But he was like a great college player at Kentucky. And
Was there someone else taken above Mitch, another quarterback?
no, Mitch went second, and then
10th, I want to say, right?
there was.
I guess if you think
Deshaun
about it,
Watson. Deshaun Watson was in that draft, but Mitch
That's right,
went
that's
ahead
right,
of
it was
him,
Watson.
too.
Are we
Yeah.
considering
think about
future
it,
better
like-
Super Bowls?
What do you say,
If you
Dana?
think about like today, and you're saying, okay, yes, Patrick Mahomes is a million times better than Mitch. Like, I think that's fair to say it's a massive fuck up. But at the time, I don't think you could have predicted that.
I have tweets in real time that I hated the pick on draft night.
But you didn't say anything about Mahomes, I doubt.
Yeah, we could look at this graphic in 10 years, and this could reflect very, very strong.
Could.
Like, people like this will be one of those drafts. It's like, you remember that draft in what,
Yeah.
16, 17? Was it 17?
17.
17?
Yeah.
And
Or-
people will look at that 17 draft and be like, how the fuck did that happen?
He had only played 13 games at
But
the start.
but- yeah.
It was
People,
it was crazy to take, and he went 8-4. Like they were better. They went undefeated the year before Mitch was
Yeah, but you know how that works, though. They go based on.
Another question.
He was not good in college.
Would the Bears
But-
and Nagy fucked Mahomes up anyways?
Very possible. Very possible.
It all depends on
Probably.
how it all depends on how good Mahomes ends up being, which obviously he looks fucking
He's-
incredible.
I think that story has been.
Yeah, but we'll see how many he gets. You know,
Yeah.
What is he,
yeah.
26, 27 now?
Yeah.
whatever. He's had a fucking whopper of a deal.
$400 million.
Yeah.
He's
Owns
like,
the
you know what?
Royals now.
Yeah, it's like he's so rich that he owns the Royals. Yeah. So, but I'll take Mitch over Mahomes as a blunder.
All right. To me, kind of dark, very sad. Sports. One of my favorite 30 for 30s ever. Andres Escobar on goal.
I think I drafted that in something too. That was on my list.
It's a great pick.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. It's a sad story.
It's fucked up.
I mean, I was doing my research for this draft, and what is it? He shot 12 times?
Something like
Fucking
that.
Sad, Ed.
Yeah.
It's a good pick, but it's sad.
It's very sad. It's very sad. Yeah, it's a blunder for sure, and it's the story of it. Like I said, it's the best. It's my favorite 30 for 30 probably.
The 2 Escobars?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's
I
a
have
lot
not
of good
seen
ones.
it.
There's a lot of good ones. But
Yeah. I know I drafted it for something else. Did we draft 30 for
think I've seen
30s? Yeah.
ESPN draft.
Yep. So that was that's no doubt like that's a bad one.
It's a bad one.
And they were, and they go into this in the 30 for 30. That was like their golden generation. Like they were more heavily favored to win that World Cup than even Brazil or Italy or any of the other powers. It was like their time to win it, and then he does that. They go home and
sad, tragic, all of the above. Back to me. I'm gonna go with the in the candy realm. I'm gonna hat tip to Clem. M&M's turning down ET. You guys hear that story?
no.
M&M's had the opportunity to be in a product placement deal with ET,
Oh,
and they said no.
and there was Reese's Pieces
Yes.
instead, right?
And Reese's Pieces wasn't really I guess doing well at the time, and
'Cause they're not that
absolutely.
I thought you meant the rapper until just now.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't think
like he would have been a
around.
childhood
What's
star.
he? I'm like, him and Drew Barrymore would have been a fucking dime, but that doesn't make sense. I thought it was from 8 Mile.
Yeah, so M&M's turning down ET.
I wonder what that price tag was for the product placement in that movie.
Yeah, it was $1 million from what I read.
Okay.
So it was like a mutual deal. Like they were going to be in
Yeah.
cross promotion packaging, and it was so big. Their profits went through the roof, and Reese's Pieces became they got put into movie theaters and shit, and basically Hershey's they became
That
a
was
brand
huge
for
deal.
Hershey's. Yeah,
Interesting.
after that. So big fuck up by Mars and M&M's not to just pay the $1 million and get in that, because ET became such a big Spielberg film and whatnot. So should have just fucking.
This site says it was a legend forever, but it has been confirmed 100% true. And afterwards, Reese's Pieces reported 65% increase in sales year over year after the movie came out. I'd say that's a pretty bad fuck up there. I had never heard that.
Yeah, interesting story.
That is an interesting story. Yeah, that was news to me too.
So
Yeah, they had their own cereal and shit. Yeah.
M&M's turning down ET.
We benefit though, because I like a Reese's Pieces.
It's
Do
like
you?
my
I
favorite
don't.
candy. I love it.
I'm not saying I mean,
I can
I won't go that far,
mountains of it.
but it's a solid candy. Practical. It's in the practical category. You can take an M&M, unless it's wet. Wet M&M's tough, man.
What's
Come
a
home
wet
from
M&M?
Halloween. It's been raining. The bag's a little wet. The bottom soggy M&Ms. The fucking the dye starts running off the M&Ms.
I gotta say, I'm thankful I've never experienced that. That sounds bad.
Back to you, Chief.
I have a candy one on my list too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Know candy back to back or no?
Sure.
Oh, we got a couple Patriots on the list.
Sure.
Back-to-back candies.
Sure. I'll say Skittles going to green apple.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Green apple, that flavor of the green, when they had the lime, that was fire. Yeah, everyone in the pack was great. They switched to green apple, and you're like, oh, fuck. And I would say that, green, I would say, is my favorite color, and I cared about that more when I was eating Skittles when I was a kid. So when they made that the green apple, I was like, this fucking sucks. So I'll say Skittles switching from lime to green apple.
I didn't hate the switch. A lot of people did, but I
Yeah.
didn't hate it.
Okay.
I thought it was good.
And I like green apple Jolly Ranchers, but it just doesn't work for,
But I know this was a big thing.
yeah.
This was a big thing. It reminded me of a new one. Maybe I'll take it in the 5th round though. But there were a lot of.
You're going back-to-back candy?
No. But I don't know. Just as far as products and whatnot.
Okay.
Dana, I feel like you're a road trip snack guy. Did you like
Yeah.
this change?
I'm going to be completely transparent with you boys. I didn't know there was a switch. And I'm a Skittles guy too. So I'm shocked to hear this development. When did this happen?
I think they went back.
They have
though,
switched
recently.
back.
Yeah, they switched back.
after, maybe within the last few years. I think since we've had this job that they've switched back to lime. But there was probably a 10, 12-year period where they went away from Lion and went to Green Apple. Are you a guy that will just take a whole bunch and throw them in your mouth?
Oh yeah. You know what I do?
So it mitigates
I
that problem a little bit.
Yeah, I put them in and I'll suck on the flavor, and then they all turn white.
Yep.
And that's when I eat it. That's how I eat my Skittles, like a fucking.
That's
mutant.
weird. Yeah. All right.
2013, it looks like they changed, and then it looks like just this back to like 2021 they went back.
Good. All right.
So I think you'll have a small army behind you on that one, but
a passionate group.
it's definitely a thing. White Sox, Dave.
I don't believe this has ever been talked about on an episode of the Snake Draft before, but I'm going to go with Roy Raymond selling Victoria's Secret for $1 million to Wexner. Wexner. Do we know Wexner? What is Wexner again? Whatever it is.
We know him.
We know him.
Yeah, we'll just leave it alone. I'll tell you after. We'll leave that one alone.
Anyways, everybody
Do you know him, Dana?
I can't say I do.
Okay. Yeah.
Give him a Google.
I didn't honestly know if that was a company because I was looking for the first.
Yeah, the
or
company's
last
the
name.
Limited.
What is
Limited.
it again?
Oh, okay. Now
It's mentioned in a few Netflix docs that are out there right now.
Give me
no.
the name one
Yeah.
more time.
Yeah.
What'd you
Anyway,
say?
sold the company to Wexner for $1 million, and now it's worth billions upon billions of dollars. And he unfortunately didn't make it too much longer after that because of the depression he faced
Now was
afterwards.
but did Wexner make it what it is though?
Yeah.
Like, is this one of those things where it's like
He could have not done it anyways.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
On his
Like,
own.
that's where
Maybe.
this might be bad
Yeah.
because it's like, well, hey, you just sold a name like Victoria's Secret. Whereas
Maybe he regretted the deal structure.
like if you give 10% stock, like that's different. You're
Or
just
you get a royalty.
Yeah,
Dollar
like
a
a-
bra. Or
yeah,
something,
you're holding a fucking
You're doing well.
yes.
Yeah.
That's different. So I don't know how I feel about this pick. Just gonna say that
Well,
I don't know enough about the.
I think it's known as kind of a big fuck up.
Is it?
He
Okay.
sold early.
All right.
Yeah, not as bad as my guy Ronald Wayne, but
It was
bad.
same stratosphere as that. I'd say it's a pretty bad fuck up. I mean, he thought he fucked up so bad that he took his own life, unfortunately. So
Oh, did he?
yeah,
he jumped off the
fuck.
Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
That's bad. I apologize then. Holy shit. It's no good.
They had that whole scene with Justin Timberlake in The Social Network where they're at the club or whatever, and he tells the story. He said 500,000 in the movie, from what I remember.
Did he?
Not that, I mean, it's all the same
I
at that
thought
point.
I
but,
thought he got like 4 million.
I just did the Wikipedia deep dive. It said $1 million.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure in the movie they said 500,000. But nevertheless, it was not the billions and billions and billions with the Victoria's Secret Angels and all the, hot honeys.
Yeah, could have been.
Yeah.
Could have been much different. All right, Dana. What do we got?
I think I'm going back-to-back baseball fuck-ups. And I got to give a shout to my guy Buckner. I mean, 86, Red Sox, Mets. I obviously wasn't alive, but my dad, anytime I bring up the name Bill Buckner, I basically get slapped in the face and thrown out of my house. There's Curb episodes. I know he was on one of those, so he's kind of embraced it at this point, but people take that shit seriously, man. They were very, very mad until that curse was lifted, Red Sox fans. And I think you say, hey, I pulled a Buckner. It's pretty culturally relevant. And I'm saying Bill Buckner through the legs, 1986 World Series.
So similar.
Rest in peace, by the way. Rest in peace, Bill.
Oh, he did that.
Yeah, he just died a couple years ago.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Similar to the Bartman thing where there was a bunch of fuck ups around it that nobody really talks about because all the focus is on Bartman, like with the Alex Gonzalez error and they're up by 4 runs and all that shit. Mike Gedman was the Red Sox catcher. There was a pass ball, drop third strike. I want to say the exact hitter before that it was a ball right down the middle that should have been caught. Swung through, just dropped it, went to the backstop and allowed the inning to continue. No one talks about that.
That's how it goes, Dave.
He's living. I actually have met him.
Didn't he get like a a standing ovation there.
Yeah, in was it 2018?
It was I don't know
That
when,
World Series maybe.
but-
I'm sure, that's why Bartman should be brought back too. Like it's like once you win one,
They've
it's
asked
like
him to
it's
come
over.
back. And
Yeah,
he says
yeah.
no. Yeah.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'd be
But
like,
it should
fuck
be.
you
what I'm-
guys.
That's more for the people who feel guilty about it than it is for Bartman. I feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got two of the strong baseball ones for sure.
I
Iconic.
love Dana's. Like a lot of people's lists are like very spelled out. Dana's just all one words, is fucking just one hitters.
Yeah.
Chernobyl, Titanic, Bartman, Buckner.
That's probably actually a good sign. If you need no explanation.
That is true. People are going to be looking at mine. Michael Bolton, the fucking
That's
singer.
the big four right there.
Yeah. Carl. It's so true because we don't even say much. It's like Buckner, yeah, no. Fucking got a lot of grounder go through his legs. What are you gonna say? It's a fuck up.
I don't want to take anything too heavy. I'm sorry. I only have heavy stuff on my mind.
Yeah. Like Escobar was heavy. Kind of felt bad about that.
The biggest fuck ups, blunders. I'm sorry. I honestly don't know if I have anything right now. I don't want to take anything heavy. Fuck it. I'm taking the Challenger explosion.
Don't want to take anything heavy though. Do we know what happened with that? Because I don't.
I just know it blew
Did
up.
somebody make a mistake?
There's like an engineering thing where like something should have been this and that, and it was loose and could have been
Okay.
double checked. And so, because it was a big program to take civilians, and you had
Oh,
like
yeah.
the teacher and everybody
Christine.
sat around and watched it too. It was
Yeah.
like, all right, now we're all going to sit here, we're going to watch this,
Mm-hmm.
and it's devastating.
Was that like
80.
80s.
I'm
yeah.
mixing the two up. What was the
Like
other one in
mid-80s?
like 2004 or 5 where they were coming back from space? It was all televised live too.
It's crazy how
Yeah, I
this is
remember
like,
that.
since this was in the 80s, this is like so much different from the Titanic. Right? Or no?
What do you
Well, I
mean?
mean, we all sat and I shouldn't
Yeah,
say
I know.
we all. I wasn't alive.
Our parents
but,
probably were.
I mean, people just sat and watched it.
Yeah, I lived in New Hampshire as like a very little kid, and the teacher, Christine, whatever, I can't remember her last name right now. Do you have that like a Wikipedia up for
I'm
it?
looking at it now.
Like they would make a point to talk about it, like often.
About how what went wrong?
Yeah,
and what,
well,
whatnot?
about like just about her,
About-
more,
okay.
and then that had exploded.
I didn't know if like the blunders with
No,
what's
no.
going on or whatnot.
Okay.
I might even have the.
I mean,
Christine
there's
part
got to
wrong.
be some fuck up in there. I remember. I just looked. It was Columbia. That was in 2003. I remember that one vividly. Obviously, I don't remember the one from '84 or whatever. I wasn't alive. It's got something had to have fucked up
Yeah, I don't
beyond
know.
belief.
I don't have much to say. 5th round?
Yeah. Okay. We're going to take a big one here. Talk about timelines. Challenger moment. Chris Webber timeout moment. 28-3. Bigger timeline. I'm going to take a huge timeout. I'm taking Prohibition. Huge blunder. What do you mean canceling alcohol? All it did was just create a secondary market, which led to just mass violence. Obviously, a lot of bad stuff happened because of people still got drunk. Just a stain on American cultural history that they would that we would do prohibition in the 20th century. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about.
made
And
the
especially I'm
mafia.
throw a bone here to our sponsor, Miller Lite. It's fucking crazy. Imagine they were like, no, that Miller Lite's against the law,
Yeah.
bro. One of the most American things you can do is have a great taste in less filling.
That's very
It's a
true.
fact,
Actually,
right, Dana?
I would have loved.
Oh, right.
I thought you guys would have liked this pick a little
I
bit
like
more.
I like that pick, and it is like it's so like Chicago too, because that is how
Yeah.
the mafia, Capone
The
got all the
Untouchables.
money, all the power. Yeah, the Untouchables was all around money generated from alcohol. So it's a good pick.
It's funny. I was
Unintended consequences.
not too long ago, a year ago maybe, I restarted Breaking Bad, and I think it was the very first episode, or one of the first episodes of the first season. Walt knows he has cancer at this point, and he smokes a joint, and they find the weed, and they have like mental breakdowns because they find some weed, And it's kind of funny because now nobody gives a flying fuck about weed, and they're like, "Oh my god!" Like that's kind of, I'm assuming, what it was back in the 1920s and 30s or whatever. Like, oh my god, he's got a bottle of beer.
His bard, yeah.
He's got beer in his sock drawer. Just finding all the shit. And,
Fucking prohibition.
I would have liked to go to speakeasies though.
Dana, that's when they outlawed alcohol.
Like, I'm not a weekday drinker. I'm more of a weekend, Saturday, sometimes Sunday drinker. I'm not like, going nuts. And I know my entire brand is based off of alcohol. So I should be scared if there was never another prohibition. But genuinely, I mean, it scares me to think of living in a time like that. I don't want to ever have a time where I can't just hop in the fridge and grab a 6-pack of fucking, Miller Lights. It scares me.
Yeah.
Grab a nice beer. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, prohibition is the pick. Dana, you're up.
Okay, we were just talking about how I had 4 basically one-liners. This is going to be a little different, and I was doing some research. There was a guy in England who threw away a fucking lottery ticket worth $181 million, and someone found it and cashed it. Come on. Can you think about it? I used to be on the scratch tickets all my life, and I would always just hope to get like that 200,000 or the 20,000, whatever. If I ever threw away even 200, I would be like extremely sad. So there's a guy in England, $181 million. I think it was a lottery ticket or something. He threw out. Huge fuck up. You can't be doing it. You got to triple check, quadruple check. I don't care if if you don't have faith, you got to at least double check. $181 million lottery ticket.
How does he know he threw it out? Like, because it's like a ton of numbers, right?
Yeah, I don't know. This does, like that little rant you had there, Dana. I remember in like maybe my early 20s, the Illinois lottery had this thing where it's like you could win, I think it was like $5,000 a week for life. And I'm like,
I remember that. Yeah.
That's all I need. That's all I need. I'm not even going to worry about like the big Powerball. I'm just going to I'm not greedy. I'm just going to get to play the $500 or the $5,000 a week game and be like, the upper 10% of income earners and be fine with that. And it's like a big safety net. And I probably blew like, I don't know, hundreds of dollars playing that.
That's about
lottery.
$250,000 a year.
I mean, It says on this article that she wrote down every single day her numbers.
Oh.
I thought you said it was a dude.
Or no, it was him. He wrote down every single day the numbers that he chose and gave it to his significant other. And that day, that's when the numbers are.
Oh, and she had the numbers and was like, hey, we won. We're 181 millionaires.
Tough.
Where's the ticket?
It's a bad. That's a fuck up.
That's a fuck up, all right.
That's a fuck up.
No chalk from me. No more chalk.
I honestly don't know
but
what.
Fuck you for breaking your one word streak.
I don't really have any more on my list. I got Leon Lett. Fuck. I can't.
Oh, you dickhead.
I don't think that's even
We were
that.
just talking about that the other day, actually.
Sorry.
I don't have any
Don
other singular
Beebe's the head
ones,
coach
so
at
I think
Aurora University.
No matter what.
All right, White Sox.
Shout out
Dave.
Don Beebe Speed Camp.
I
Shout
was
out.
in it when I was a kid. Mine's almost exactly the same. So doing a little Google deep dive, I found this guy. What's his name? I actually have his name somewhere. Jamie Howell. He, in 2009, he spilled some milk on his laptop, and he had 7,500 Bitcoins on it. Threw away the computer thinking that he had it backed up on a secondary hard drive. Didn't have it backed up on a secondary hard drive. Spent months and months and months digging for it at the local landfill. Never found it.
How much Bitcoin?
7,500 in 2009. So what's 7,500 times whatever Bitcoin's at per
It's
Bitcoin
worth like
now?
$110 million right now.
That's a lot of fucking money.
That's pretty good.
And is he the one that's like digging in landfills? Did
Yeah,
you say
he was
that?
digging in landfills. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that poor guy.
That's
dude.
tough.
I mean, I'd be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
would
but then it's like how much
absolutely
money you're going to be losing
digging.
Not 110 million.
Not yeah.
But like if you never find it, which
You'd have to spend the rest of your life with the fucking shovel to be like. And even then, dude, you'd have to spend.
You still-
honestly, you'd probably
it still
have to
wouldn't
spend
be
like
break even.
15 lifetimes.
None of us are
with
ever
the
making
shovel.
that kind of
You gotta
money.
be like, that's 110.
get
That's
Eddie
worth
out there with
110
his
million.
metal detector again.
Yeah. Get the boys out there.
I think I would have the exact same reaction as that guy, though. I would be digging through that piece by piece, garbage piece by garbage piece, that entire dump until I found it.
I wonder at what point do you think he realized it?
It's just
Like, was it like right when they took it, and then like 2 days later, or like how deep, like days or weeks later, did he realize?
Can you imagine if you're like running down the alley after the waste
right,
management
dude?
truck?
Yeah.
I mean, we've all fucked up on various levels. Like, I'm just throwing this out there off the top of my head. What if we were recording a snake draft on a Wednesday, which is atypical for us? We usually do it Thursdays, and you get the text from Ed saying, "Where are you? We're supposed to be here," and you're still at home. You're 15, 20 minutes away or whatever, and you get that sinking feeling really quick, like, oh, I fucked up. What would you do if you lost, like, the dude that you were talking about, or this guy who lost hundreds of millions of dollars?
Can I tell you something? I bet you that I'm like dumb enough to not even realize that I did it. Like, I wouldn't even panic about it till later.
Well, everyone's done that when like you went to the mall and like you like left your wallet on the table at like the food court, and you're like you just like realized like.
Yeah, I left when we went hunting. I left the house without bringing my wallet. So,
Yeah.
it happens.
He was Venmoing people all weekend, Ed.
Yeah.
You rip on me for that, you're gonna.
I had a rough morning that day. I was very helter-skelter. But yeah, it's a good pick.
Danny, ever throw out a computer on accident?
Not on accident, but I have lost a lot of valuable things on laptops that are just, unattainable once they're dead. Just like more memories or pictures or videos, stuff like that. But never anything of like major value. I don't know what I would do. Same thing. If I was me, I would go through the dumpster for I would go every single day with whatever free time I had.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
And how many people would you be willing to like partner up with to split that 110 million?
That's a good question too.
It was like for people that would help me find
Yeah, you
it.
say, hey, come help me find it, and I will give you.
Only if the person doesn't find it and someone
They're
else
out. They
does.
don't know. You have to take you don't owe these people anything unless you find it and convert it into money.
I'll split it 50-50.
Ooh, wow.
Do you think you could do more with 3 people? Do you think you'd get 6 people on board? Would you build a team?
That's what I'm saying. If I had a group of 20 and 19 or 18 of them, 19 of them didn't do shit, do I still give them money if someone else finds it?
I think you just pay them as like day laborers, and then
Yeah,
whoever
I'll
finds
give
it
them,
gets a nice bonus.
In
Yeah.
I'm
2009,
not working that hard as a day laborer though. You tell me I
Give
get
me-
a
give me
future
a group
right
of
to
15.
like 8 million. I might be throwing some garbage around with you.
Give me a group of 15 scavengers.
Couple days.
I get
we
to
could
pick
even
who they are.
make it legally binding. Say, hey, if you find
You're
it, here's a
fucking-
contract.
Get Dana and Booze out there. They'll fucking get Booze Harry and a fucking.
No, how did Booze get thrown? Was Booze on your trip with you?
Not Booze is his guy from Jackson, dude. Those
Oh.
fucking Jackson State boys.
I thought you were talking. Oh, okay. Shout out Booze. I don't know if anybody. He needs to get more love. Diehard Philly guy. Great.
Booze needs all the love in the world. Booze needs 10 promotions in my mind.
I went
know,
on
that's
a
what I'm
bowling
saying.
trip with Booze, just me and him. We like took a train down from Philly to like Virginia and spent a weekend at like a Quality Inn in the middle of fucking nowhere doing a PBA thing. We would just go. We would go to like Chili's at the end of the night and just like hit the appetizer menu real hard. Good guy.
That's what I'm saying.
Barstool Booze, one of the only cameramen in history to throw Barstool in front of their name.
Get Booze out there. He'll look for the fucking hard drive. Chief.
All right. I'm going to go with another business one. Kodak. Kodak patented the digital camera, and then they're like, we don't want to do that. We're in the film business. And then their patent expired, and then somebody came along with digital cameras, and they went bankrupt. So they had they should have been like a multi-billion dollar, and they already were. And then because they let that patent expire, their company went bankrupt in 2012. And I think they're like back, but their stock's only worth like $3. I just looked it up.
I know
So,
it's a bad story.
Yeah. So Kodak not following through on the digital camera patent.
Kodak fumbling digital
Kodak
camera.
Yeah.
I know it's a bad story. It's a good pick
Yeah.
based on what
Based
I know
on the
about
reality.
Kodak.
Yeah. Because they were like a Fortune like 100 company. at one
Fuck
point.
yeah, dude.
They
You
were
would that
huge.
like
Everybody had a Kodak.
Yeah.
in
And
the
they were
pa-
cheap
like,
too.
Yeah, like you think about noises at a party.
That
It was like music,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, we were scrolling the
cans opening and that.
Yeah. I hated that little
Yeah.
wheel. Get your fingernail in there and turn it.
Eddie, completely unrelated. Can I was listening to one of the drafts recently. I was in a place in Cincinnati this week at a bar, and they were playing song, the Tyga song, or no, Rack City. It was on, and I was like, Eddie, he's right.
Was the place going nuts?
It was buzzing.
Thank you. Thank you. Should have took a video.
I know, that's on me.
The fuck? All right, Kodak fumbling a digital camera. I like it. Last me, Mr. Irrelevant. There's a lot of big business deals I got here. A lot of I got a couple beverages that I have, but I'm gonna go with a new one. This one's kind of like it's kind of cutesy, like new, modern. It's not even that great, but I just they fucked this up so much and it annoyed me. So I'm just gonna take the opportunity to dump on them again because it's the little things. And I'm gonna go with the Game of Thrones coffee cup. And I'm taking that because it's a little things.
I like it, Ed.
It's the little things, and it just goes to show how much they fucked up that final season.
It was.
You know what I mean? You want to talk about a production that big, and for you to leave a coffee cup, it just is a microcosm of how much they did not.
It was
give
like
a fuck.
lazy.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And you know what I mean?
Oh, I know what
Yes.
you're talking about.
You know what,
Starbucks
Ed,
cup
you
sitting
could've
in the
just
middle
Yeah,
of
yeah,
a
yeah.
could have just
shop.
gone with the final season of Thrones, I think.
A fuck is a fuck up.
Yeah, that's true
That's
too. You can just
very,
take the whole
very
season
true.
8 or whatever it was.
Or the
yeah.
last episode, even. I mean, any of it, you know?
shooting the big battle scene in the dark.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who likes that scene.
White Sox Dave loves that scene.
I love that episode. When she's in the library, Arya,
It's my favorite.
she's walking around like a ninja.
This is my favorite thing about White Sox Dave is he loves that battle scene in the dark.
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
When the Dothraki
That
just,
part was cool, but they should have made the sun go up right after that.
And that's why, like I said, it's like more of like a funny thing where, like, you know, it was like such like a mom memed like thing,
Yeah.
like, oh my god, they left the Starbucks cup, but like I just liked the pick because it was such like it's like you guys just fucked this thing up.
Okay,
Like, you
to
didn't
poke
even
holes in
care.
it though, so I had that on the list. I should have just drafted this last season. There was a whole list of similar fuck ups from early awesome seasons too. Like there was one, I forget, he was one of the princes. He raided north of the wall, and what's her fucking name? She's like the protector of
A wildling.
anyways, she stabs him, and there's just like a fucking it's like a computer charger that looks kind of like this thing, just sitting in the scene. There's like a few other examples in the earlier scenes, but that one obviously sticks out because everyone's like, they can't get fucking anything right in this season of the show.
Yeah. So, that's just, it's more so just a mini microcosm of how big of a fuck up the whole thing was. Because that's subjective. Because you could say that season was good, like you think that.
You could
like
like
you think
no,
that
the
episode was
shooting
good.
scenes in the dark is a good
Yes,
idea.
exactly. So, all right. I'll run through them. We'll do it on mentions. We'll get out of here. Carl, 28-3 Falcons. Chris Webber, timeout. Blazers taking Bowie. Challenger explosion. Prohibition, Dana, Chernobyl, Titanic, Bartman, Buckner, guy who threw away $181 million lottery ticket. White Sox, Dave, Red Sox selling, Babe Ruth, Pete Carroll not running the ball, Michael Bolton fucking up the decimal point in office space. Victoria's Secret selling for $1 million, guy who threw away 7,500 Bitcoin. Chief Ron Wayne sells 10% of Apple for $800. Mao's war on the Sparrows. Mitch over Mahomes. Skittles getting rid of Lime. Kodak fumbling digital camera. Eddie LeBron's decision. Matt Damon turning down Avatar. Andres Escobar on goal. M&M's turning down AET. Coffee cup in Game of Thrones. Dana, what else you got?
I got a couple. I really don't have a ton here, but I guess people will disagree here. But when the Browns fired Belichick, I know that he wasn't doing crazy well there, but there's got to be something wrong to the fact that he went on to be the greatest football coach of all time.
Well, and his core won the Super Bowl like with the Ravens. That was, I feel like those were all his guys in like what, 99, something like that. So I think that's a good pick.
I had, and I don't really know how this is a fuck up, but like letting Tom Brady become Tom Brady, the Mo Lewis hit. That's not a fuck up per se, but there's got to be some type of fuck up there. And really, I think that's all I have. I had the Escobar. Yeah, that's all I got.
Carl.
Yeah, one time I was going to Jacksonville for a wedding. Shout out Chili Dog, and he got married at TPC. It was great. And I was like, I don't know, we were flying out at like 6 a.m. and we get there and you're checking in through security, and my wife looks at me and she's just like, "Oh my God, my ID, like someone must have fallen out." Or so, what do you mean your ID? She didn't bring her license to the airport. So we had to get in a cab.
I remember that.
We had a cab back to Roscoe. No, we had a cab back to South Loop.
Yeah.
And her fucking wallet was just sitting on the kitchen table. I was like, oh, yeah, someone must have fallen out.
Someone stole it.
Yeah, it was just like, you shoot.
I remember waking
So
up
we had
and
to go
seeing
back.
that tweet,
Oh,
and I was
God.
like, pray for Carl's wife.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything to her. I think I don't think
Yeah.
I talked to her until we got the rental car from Jacksonville, and I made her upgrade to a convertible. I was like, I'm not doing this. But we had to reschedule the flights. Cost me another couple $100 at a time. I did not have a couple
tight,
$100.
yeah.
Yeah, just bad.
But it's one of those errors where nobody feels worse about it than her, I'm sure.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
and it's become a very, very funny thing.
Yes.
Like anytime you're going to the airport, or, we're going together or whatever, it's just like,
You got your fucking ID.
yeah, it's really funny. And then I don't know, there was something else I can't really remember, but that was one that really got me upset. So
I lobbied to have personal fuck ups on this draft.
Yeah,
it's a
you
bonus
I
round.
think about one all the time. I got my last at bat of high school, bases chucked against the eventual state champions.
Well, it's just not being-
3-1 count.
That's just
and
not being
I swung
good.
at ball 4.
that's just not being good.
I swung at ball 4 because I wanted to end the game, and I fouled out. And then
What was the
next
pitch that you swung at on 3-1?
Fastball.
Where?
It was that. Do you remember Jeffrey Rowan?
No, where'd you? Yeah, I know. He's left fielder for Northwestern.
Yep.
Ran headfirst into a wooden wall at Illinois. Knocked unconscious for like 30
He was
seconds.
a draft
Pretty
pick
scary.
eventually.
Wait, why did you want to end the game?
Nequa Valley.
I wanted because we were the
Be a
home
hero.
team.
Oh,
I wanted to be
okay.
the hero. I tried playing hero ball, swung at ball 4, which would have tied it.
Was it
and
high or low? I'm saying, or
It was.
outside?
It
or
was.
what?
It was at my shoulders.
I thought you were trying to fucking.
I wish I would have swung through it, to be honest, because I would have had another
I thought you were
shot.
trying to go home, beat traffic, want to end the game.
No,
And you popped out.
popped out to the first baseman, and we were playing at fucking North Central. If we weren't playing there, it would have been a foul ball too. But there's so much foul territory there that it was a can of corn. Next hitter ended up striking out, and then Nick Brown, who you also know, flew out to the center field fence, and that would have also ended the game.
You had nobody out.
Nobody out.
Oh,
Yep. We talk about it. Yeah. Now you know why it
I thought there
eats
was
me
one
alive.
out. I
no.
thought there was one out.
No.
Hey, Dave came back though and beat Dallas Braden though at
Walked him
great
off.
comeback. Well, you tied it up.
Chief, you got any more?
From my list,
Yeah.
anybody who would invade Russia in winter, it's always backfired. I had the Panarin trade on there. There's that story where it was the Bill Russell draft. I saw this on like a 30 for 30, I think, too, where Celtics were sitting second, and I think they're like Syracuse had a team or somebody like some like team that doesn't exist anymore. They were going to take Bill Russell, and the owner of the Celtics was like, "Don't take him, and we also own the Ice Capades, and we'll bring the Ice Capades to your town if you pass on Bill Russell." So that was the deal, and then so that's pretty big fuck up. One of the greatest players ever.
I'd say.
Yeah, and then Columbus thinking he was in India. I had that on my list. Not even close. Not even close, dude.
I don't know what the Ice Capades are. I'm sorry.
You know what the Ice Capades are? Do you know what the Ice Capades are? Like Disney on Ice?
I don't know.
You don't know what that is either?
I know
Well,
what
I know
Disney on
Disney on
Ice
Ice
is.
is.
It's
Yeah.
they're like, this is Disney on Ice before Disney on Ice.
Oh,
It was like
okay.
a figure skating traveling show.
Oh, no
yeah.
shit.
My old man once took us to the United Center, and we're like, it was like getting in the car, we're going for a trip. We were all little kids, and when we got there, I was like, "What is this?" He's like, "Dude, Lion King on Ice. Are you kidding?" We're like, "Dad, what the fuck?" We get in there, fucking Bulls first row.
That's hilarious.
Well, that was
That's a
back.
good
You're a
story.
kid. You don't know
Yeah.
shit. Like you didn't even know I don't even know what day it was. You know, you're just
That's
with
hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Dad.
I just got a couple. Shout out to Jim Calhoun, Emeka Okafor. I fucked up. I mean, he's the
That's the greatest.
poster
Yeah.
boy for
But he
fuck
didn't
ups.
fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. New Coke. That was a fuck up,
We did a show on that,
which they
didn't we?
remedied. Yeah.
Yep.
Schlitz beer fucked up heavy. They were like one of the most popular beer makers in like the 70s or the 80s. They fucked with the format because they weren't able to produce enough. And like the new format, it was like gooed to the bottom of the mug.
Yeah.
And instead of recalling it, they just like, we're like, we'll just fix the formula once this like runs out. And then like people just stopped buying it and they never recovered.
Wow, I never heard that
Yeah,
story.
look it up. Schlitz used to be a big deal. It's a great, my dad loves telling that story. McDonald's getting rid of Orange High C, which I think is back now.
Don't they always do that? Just kind of fuck with people, I feel like.
No, I think that was actually real for a series.
And allegedly, I shouldn't say allegedly, I think High C was on the original. That's Sprite and Coke. My dad always talks about like old school. You can go in there, they get a hamburger, do a cheeseburger, a French fry, a Coke.
Yeah.
Orange.
An orange, yeah. Excite, some company called Excite turned down Google for $750K. Not a good move.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Not a good move. And then obviously you hear all the time HBO passed on Breaking Bad and all these networks.
Yeah.
But that happens so
All
frequently.
the time, yeah. I think they passed on Mad Men too.
Yeah, that happens all the time. So, all
Good
right,
draft.
Dana Beers.
Good
yeah.
draft. Lengthy. Good. Long
Thanks,
one.
boys. Hey, it's always a pleasure. I'm happy this wasn't personal fuck-ups. I'd have a laundry list. I'm pretty sure my girlfriend already knows what she's getting for Christmas, a week ahead in advance. So thank you for having me. I love you boys, and let me know anytime.
Just say that was your first gift to her and then get her another one that's the actual surprise.
I actually do have a second one coming, and I think she'll probably like that one better. So.
Wow.
I don't
Engagement
think she'll
ring,
find
huh?
out.
Yeah, can
Maybe-
you-
I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm a producer. I don't want to put too much, on the editors here. Maybe you bleep it out. I don't know.
Can we set off an alarm, or you could let me know? Can you text me if she finds out, or we could tweet off the dog? We could it could be an emoji.
social clip, yeah.
we could let the people know that she found out because she listened or something.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, we'll I don't know. We need some type of emoji or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe it would just be the red alarm. If we tweet the red alarm emoji before Christmas, just straight up the red alarm. That means that Dana's girlfriend has found out because she listened to the episode, and Christmas is
I'm going
ruined.
to tell her not to, but I can't stop the people that's going to find her and tweet at her.
Exactly. All right, Dana. Thank you, man.
All right. See you guys.
See you, Dana. Thank you to all the listeners as well. Obviously, last draft before the new year, and that's it. We'll be live shows tomorrow and Wednesday, and rerun Thursday, and then reruns all next week, and then we'll see you guys for the new year. That's it, everybody. Thanks for listening, and new draft next year. See ya.